All right. Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's good today. Where are we today? Thursday, June 4th, 10 a.m. Knicks, 3 more wins. We need 3 of these, and it's going to be pandemonium. We'll see what happens. I felt like they, obviously this is basketball talk here, but obviously from my perspective, I thought the Knicks played a lousy first half and were able to stay in there. Then they made that little burst when they took Wemby out of the game. They couldn't get any shots near the rim with Wemby in the game, and that kind of kept them in it. And then I thought they played better in the second half. So we'll see if the Spurs can. They're going to have to win game 2. You don't want to come to the Garden down 0-2, so this is great. But anyway, we did have some good baseball last night, so I hope everybody's good. Hope everybody had a great beginning of the week, first couple days. Now we're winding it down, heading into the weekend here pretty soon. Have an exciting guest potentially for Tuesday. So keep that in your mind. I think you guys will be pleased with that one. So let's hop right in the standings. Super Regionals start, I believe, tomorrow. So we'll have some more college baseball stuff going on this weekend. But for now, it's all MLB. And we had plenty of good performances to check out last night. Can we watch Shohei first? It's a reasonable request. It's a reasonable request from a person who tends to be a little involved on the show, so I think we could do that. Can we get another hint? Active player, young player, exciting player, somebody that we've watched a lot on the show. All right, there we go. All right. American League East, Tampa Bay, 1 game up on the Yankees. They lost yesterday again. Look at Mitch. Ohtani free zone. I did see this. Antonacci. How could you not like Antonacci? Oof. How could you not like Antonacci? What a player. What an interesting player. All right, let me do the standings, then we'll get into all the baseball. All right, Rays up 1 on the Yankees. Both teams lost last night. Boston did win last night against Baltimore. Toronto back to 4 under 500. I'm sick of talking about that division a little bit until something changes. In the Central, Cleveland, who has won these first 2 games versus New York. They're 2.5 up on the White Sox, everybody's favorite baseball and coffee team. Collectively, I would say, besides their own teams. And then you got Detroit, who actually has won 3 in a row now that they got a couple of their hitters back. And Royals sitting in last place in that division. In the West, Mariners 2-game lead. They finally lost their winning streak to the Metros. Peralta with a nice performance yesterday. Ewing. Mets played a good game yesterday. Clean game. They needed that. Anyway, Seattle, 2 up on the A's, 2.5 up on the Rangers. And we all know about the bottom of that division. National League East, Braves win again, 42-20, 22 over 500. They're 9.5 up on the Phillies, who have also played really good baseball. It's amazing how quickly the Phillies got back up over 500. They're 3 up over 500. They had been way back under 500, like almost 10 or maybe even more under 500 at one point. So they've done yeoman's work very fast. Mets in last. They did win last night. They have a big one coming up tomorrow. Big series coming up tomorrow in San Diego. Again, I think they need to win that series. So we'll see. Central, Brewers. 37-22, 5.5 up on Cardinals and Pirates. Reds in the basement right now. Cubs have continued to really, really scuffle. I don't know what their record is over the past 3 weeks, but it can't be good, as now they're only 2 games over 506 back. West, Dodgers win again. Shohei is Shohei. Their 134 run differential is best in the league. They're 40-22, 7 up on San Diego, 7.5 up on the D-backs, who they just played. They're playing them again tonight or today, I don't know. And then Rockies and Giants are both pulling up the rear. Now, I did see Logan Webb did have the no-hitter going. You know, I saw the no-hitter alert. I was getting ready to wait on, I guess the Knicks game. Maybe that had already started. But whatever it was, I remember I had my computer up and I was flipping through games. As soon as I turned to Logan Webb, base hit right away. That's like, I just can't even watch if I want anything exciting to happen, you know? And it didn't come through for me. All right, let's check the coffee cups. These were our coffee cup winners last night. Yeah, Giants have been cooked. They're 16 games out right now. I wonder if they stick with this regime for a while, especially how much of a runway they give Tony Vitello or even Buster. It's going to be interesting to see. They're in a weird spot. All right. Yeah, I'm a jinxer, aren't I? As soon as I turn on the game, Victoria, I'm like, what the heck? I want to see a no-hitter. I'm already planning how I'm going to make the video, and then it's like, all right, he gives up a hit. Okay. Dylan Dingler takes the 3 cups last night with another big game in Tampa. We watched him 2 days ago. He swung it really well, and he's been swinging it really well. Isaac Paredes with the second one, 2-hit game, home run, 3 RBIs, 2 runs scored with a walk, and Andrew Benintendi, who had a nice game yesterday for the White Sox. Anybody 4-hit days? Wow, we had 5 4-hit days. Antonacci, Bichette, Jordan, Madrigal, Wade Meckler, who was a request. 5 4-hit days. That's amazing. Win probability added. Cam Smith, who had 2 hits, but they must have been timely. Plus 41 WPA. Joe Mack, plus 35. Isaac Paredes. Henry Davis with that grand slam. As for the pitchers, Christopher Sanchez, we'll probably watch him at some point. We know that he lost the streak last night, but he got over 50 innings. 3rd longest streak of all time. Truly incredible. 50 innings. If you throw 200 innings, it's a quarter of your season. You just went completely scoreless in, which is wild. He went 7 innings, 1 run, so he's still shoved. He wins the Coffee Cups. Logan Webb, 7 innings, no runs, but he had less strikeouts. So in the Bill James score, he's a little bit lower. And then Shohei, who we're going to kick off the show with here in a minute, 6 innings, 6 strikeouts, 2 hits allowed. That's the big thing with Shohei right now. He's just not allowing hits. But there was pitching performances galore here. I want to watch Troy Melton. That's a priority for me today because we really haven't watched him. He's been injured all year. Payton Tolle, 6 innings, no runs. Freddie Peralta, 6 innings, 1 run. Max Meyer, 7 innings, 1 run. Chase Burns, 6 innings, 2 runs. So plenty of pitching performances. As for the WPA winners last night, Logan Webb, number 1, Max Meyer, number 2, Shohei, number 3. Who was the top relief option last night in terms of difference maker? Yohan Duran, 1 inning, 2 strikeouts in the 9th. Hogan Harris, 1 inning, 2 strikeouts in a big spot. As the A's edged out the Cubbies. And Yohan Ramirez with a nice performance as well, although it was in a losing effort. But anyway, that was interesting to see in our top 100 prospects. This guy's been popping up a lot lately. Michael Arroyo. I believe that is Arkansas still the Angels? Still an Angel prospect? He's been popping up a lot lately. 4-hit game yesterday, 2 homers, 5 RBIs. Joshua Baez has been popping up a lot lately too. 3 hits last night. Pitching wise, Seth Hernandez was on the bump last night. Actually, this is probably his worst outing of his career so far. In a crazy game. 15-16 was the score in Asheville. That place is a bandbox. 5 innings, 8 strikeouts, 2 walks, 4 hits, 3 earnies. And then LeGrand, who they are shifting, Yankees are shifting him for a potential bullpen role. He threw 4 innings last night in AAA for Scranton with 7 strikeouts, 1 hit allowed, no runs. So I thought that was interesting to check out. And yeah, we will head right into Shohei from last night. He had a great day offensively, defensively, as he typically does. Dodgers win 7-0. Here's the box score for Shohei at the plate. 3 for 4, 2 walks, so on base 5 times. A run scored, and then on the mound, 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. .74 ERA is where Shohei's ERA is sitting right now. I think the hitting has finally come around. Yeah, he's not to his 1,000 OPS, but he's at a 941 OPS. He's hitting .301 on the year with a .420 on base. It's actually higher than the previous 2 years. So it's just the slugging, which I'm pretty sure at some point he'll get a streak with some bunches of homers. But, offensively, he's 98th percentile ex-WOBA. And then pitching, he's 95th percentile ex-ERA. So he's got a chance to this might even be his best year, considering what he's doing on the mound. So that's what we're going to focus on mostly today, of course, but we'll also watch him hit as well. So let's see what's up real quick in the chat, and then I'm going to jump right into Shohei's game. Do players' teams ever get mad at the brass if front office trades a great glue guy who everyone loved? Yeah, I mean, remember Josh Hader getting traded off the Brewers? They were pissed about that. They hated that. But yeah, of course, you know, you don't want to lose your friends or people that you think are important to winning. So, yeah, people get pissed. No doubt about it. Hey, Otto Go Knicks, just curious if you think the Mets dugout pitch calling, or I guess pitch calling in general, has caused issues for Tong and others. I don't know. I mean, I did feel like the combination of Sanger and Tong the other day when we were watching yesterday, you could just tell there was no swing reading going on. So it's kind of like, you know, kind of random the way they're choosing to throw their pitches, which, you know, can be effective at times, but it's not the way I think of it at the highest level being the most effective thing. So I don't know. And I also, my intel that I got from the Mets guys is that they're not calling every pitch. They're inputting some stuff. They're not full Rockies or Marlins at this point. Hey, what's the deal with Judge? Feels like another toe situation happening with some freak injury. I mean, the truth is we don't know yet, so I know we're all worried about it, but nothing to freak out about. We'll see. We'll see. They'll take care of him. They're getting the imaging or whatever. They're getting information. It is weird bone bruise, whatever. But we don't know yet, so no point in worrying about it yet. Pretty sure Shohei is a mutant. Yeah, that's what I feel. That's how I feel like, too. Mariners traded Kendall Graveman, similar thing. It's a good point. Toughest guy for you to see traded away in your career? This is a good question for me to think about. We didn't have a lot of fire sales on the teams I was on, to be honest with you. I'm thinking of guys who were dealt in losing seasons. Martin Prado was a guy who was a very memorable guy who got traded away from us to the Giants, helped the Giants win the World Series. I want to say that was in 2012. I remember Dan O'Dowd coming in and ripping the entire team about it, saying that he hated the fucking Giants. And he had to trade Martin Prado to them. Not Martin Prado, Marco Scudero, excuse me, Marco Scudero. For some reason, those two guys are interchangeable in my head. Contact hitters with the short swings. Marco Scudero. I remember him being pissed about that, but I just got there, so I wasn't like upset. I was just like, what's going on? And then the big one, I guess in 23, we had the fire sale, which was disappointing. Like I was close with Max, and I was getting to know JV pretty well, and you know, D-Rob. So like that was a tough year with trades. Other teams I was on, it didn't really happen much. There was the one year in 2016 where the Rockies traded Tulo and those guys, but it felt like that was sort of needing to happen because of where we were standings wise. So it was like more sad that we weren't good. Plus I was hurt. So anyway, talking about Judge, he needs to communicate better with the team. Well, we don't know. We don't know yet. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know. What'd you think about the new game in Discord? Your team was pretty good. Yeah, I thought it was fun. Kind of the random ranking, which is fun. Yeah. I don't know. We don't know enough information on this. I mean, we don't know how we actually felt. We don't know. I mean, maybe. We don't know. I have a good feeling we'll get Scherzer on at some point. Yeah. I haven't asked him yet. He would probably say yes. He goes on other shows. All right. Shohei Ohtani, right? We're back on Shohei. Mr. Ohtani. So, last night, we already talked about it. He had a huge game. Here was the pitching breakdown, so we know what we're watching. And he actually pared down his arsenal quite a bit in this game. 42 fastballs, 34 sweepers, 10 curveballs, 3 splits, no sinkers. Man, I'm a little surprised at this. I mean, this is his normal mix. So he threw no cutters, no splits, no sinkers, no gyro sliders. He just kept it to the top 4. Okay. All right. That's fine. Anyway, Shohei versus the D-backs. First, we'll watch his at-bats, and then we'll watch him pitch. This guy is just getting, I mean, it's just honestly ridiculous how good he is. It is. All right, here's his at-bats. Zach Gallen.
And then he goes and plays shortstop.
Fastball, middle. First pitch of the game, topped foul. Second pitch, fastball, middle, taken. And then he's going to go ahead and get a hit on a third heater in a row. So maybe not a great game plan and maybe a makeable play. But 3 fastballs in a row to start the game. The Shohei 107.8 at 7. So it's not like it's an easy play, but it did look like It was a short hop, but it looked like potentially fieldable. My dad would have said, you got to stick your belly in front of that one, Mr. Vargas. But I don't know. That ball was hit pretty hard. So that's first at-bat, 3 heaters. Second at-bat versus Gallen here. All right, little slider auto-taking there, it looks like. Here comes the changeup. Pretty easy take there. You can visibly see that he's seeing the ball better now. There's a chase, but he's on time more for fastballs. He seems to have a higher percentage of good takes as well, as of late. Curveball hangs on to that. Now a changeup, so he goes all heaters that first at-bat, now all off-speed this second at-bat, and now another fastball, and this one's going to be taken just off the corner for the walk. So he actually leads off both of these innings. You know, the first inning of the game, gets himself on with something in play, and then gets himself on to lead off the third inning here with a pretty good 3-2 take away. All right, third at-bat. Versus Gallen. This is a 5-0 lead at this point. Gallen having a tough year. I was hoping for him that he would be able to reestablish himself as, you know, one of the aces in the league after he bet on himself after kind of a long drawn-out free agency, but that hasn't been the case so far. So now I'm wondering if he'll just end up signing with the Diamondbacks again and just sticking around there at a reasonable price for a while. We'll see. Stolen base there by Freeland, I think. All right, 2-2 curveball. Back to 3-2.
3-2.
Curveball fouled off. Does feel like down and away is hard for him to reach at the moment. And then here's the second walk. So Gallen gives him up hard contact and then 2 walks. And it looked like Shohei was in a very passive mode versus Gallen that whole time. All right, now he's getting Taylor Clark in this at-bat. Little pickoff there.
Ohtani now with a 19-game on tonight.
We've had Troy on the show, Preston. Troy's my guy. I play winter ball with Troy. He's been playing great. Very excited for him. I knew Colorado would be a good fit for him. All right, join the Discord. Only 8 likes with 71 viewers. Let's get those numbers up. Come on up, everybody. Just click that little like button. No big deal there. 1 second of your effort. All right, 2-0 cutter in. That's a huge hack from Shohei. So he picked out a 2-0 count to take a big swing, and he comes in on top of that one. And now we got changeup coming. 3-1, gets himself in that pitcher's count. Here's that other cutting fastball, and this time he's on it. They get it up a little higher. It does look like he's standing very tall, in my opinion. Just click it, guys. Not that hard. Appreciate you. It does feel like he's staying very tall in his stance right now, and so, like, to me, it feels like down and away is the play. He's kind of waving at those pitches where oftentimes he will dive and have a little more plate coverage, but I wouldn't pitch him up in the zone or especially in right now. And he turns on that no problem up in for another 103.8. And honestly, you can see by the reaction here, he doesn't even like his swing. He thinks that he came through it a little off, and he top spun it a little weird. He wanted to stay through that better. So, holding himself to a crazy high standard as he gets a line drive hit there. And then last at-bat versus Fott, who's now mopping games up in an interesting turn of events. Fastball there. Here comes a sinker. Nope. Fouled off. Reminder, if you're on TikTok, come over to YouTube, subscribe to the show if you want to get in the chat, and subscribe to the Discord. All right, 1-2, and he's going to strike out here. So Fott's going to get him on this curveball down. Get some fish in there. That's the only time he's out yet. And now he's got Ryan Thompson. He's going to get his third hit here. Slider strike. Oop, they're going to double up. Misses down. Breaks his bat. Gets a hit anyway. So 3 hits, 2 walks. You know, it's funny because not that long ago, they pretty much had him not hitting anymore when he was pitching. But even when he has weak contact, he still finds grass, or in this case, turf. 3 hits again. He's over 900 OPS, 300 batting average now. I mean, it's coming. The offensive explosion is coming. We all know where his mind really is this year, which is on his pitching. But the offense is definitely coming. Just pulled my groin hitting that button. Thanks, Bob. Ohtani had a finger issue that limited his arsenal, especially the splitter. Okay, so he had an issue that was limiting him. And yet he's still going to go out there and give up no runs in this performance we are about to watch. My first at-bat will be my first, but he looks like a righty trying to hit lefty. Nowhere near as clumsy, but he doesn't look comfortable. I agree. To me, he didn't look comfortable on down and away that there. And maybe he's making an effort not to reach with his pitching arm as much while on days he's pitching. But yet he still found a way to get on base 5 times. What a monster, you know? What a monster. All right, here we go. Shohei on the mound. We'll watch all the pitches since it's not that many, and he deserves the respect. So remember, it's mostly 4-seamers and sweepers, a few curveballs, and there's only 3 splits mixed in the whole game. Apparently he had a finger issue, so he's really going to be a 3-pitch guy here. Fastball that has a weird shape to it and 2 breaking balls that he just chucked 2 balls to the backstop in a row. 99 at your kneecap, and then 85-mile-an-hour sweeper at your toes. Somehow Perdomo doesn't get hit by either of those. Maybe he should have, for the sake of the team. Anyway, 2-1. Heater in again, pulled for a ball. And now we're in a 3-1 count.
3-1.
Heater down in, yanked foul. And then a 100-mile-an-hour heater. Again, he's ended up with a lot of pitches. Glove side down, which is down into a lefty or down away from a righty. Shohei has really ended up with a lot of pitches in this area, which you would think would be a bad thing. But something about the shape on his fastball this year and the speed, I mean, guys are doing a lot of this. They're just getting it. They're just rolling it over to Freddie or to second base. So 1 out there. Next up, Corbin Carroll. 99-mile-an-hour heater dotted away, but he gets balled. Now a swinging strike on 98. Middle. 98 again. Pulled that one in. Sweeper again, and then backdoor sweeper. So after 3 kind of wayward heaters, dots a backdoor sweeper, and now he goes back to the fastball. Gets it away, little tapper. Shohei with the flipperoo. 2 up, 2 down. Here comes Gabriel Moreno. Yeah, fastball command not looking good so far, but yet he's got 2 guys out. That's middle, 1-1. Here's a sweeper. That's low, 2-1. Another sweeper coming.
2-1.
There we go.
Sweepers.
And then another sweeper. This one, the harder version, 87, and gets it to a great location there. One thing I think that Shohei does really well, it's more of a mental thing, is like he doesn't let like wayward pitches or bad swings get to him. He flushes them better than anybody, and he seems to be very good at staying convicted on that next pitch, and it always feels like he can make the adjustment. So really good sweeper there after some spotty command, and he ends up getting through the first inning unscathed. All right, here's Nato. Wow, the slow rainbow curve has Nolan looking at the scoreboard. 72.1. He was probably taking anyway, but if you can land the pitch you don't really want to throw him, I guess, right down the middle early, that's going to help you. Check Nolan's eyes as soon as he takes this pitch. You see that look right there? He's checking the scoreboard. Man, how fast was that? Or, slow was that? And that was the curveball, right? That wasn't the sweeper, right? Am I bugging? All right, 0-1. Next, fastball, 97. At your face! Oh, full yard sale. Oh, man. Nolan, where you going, bro? So he went from 72 to 95. That's a 23-mile-an-hour difference. And he's getting ready to stick his nose in there. And then this ball... And this is my guy, too. What happened here, Noel? He thought he was getting killed. He saw his life flash before his eyes, and then the bat tripped him. So he drops the bat to get out of the way, and then he gets jammed up in his own bat and tumbles. And Joe Mather, my other guy, Joey Bombs from back in the day with the Cardinals has got something to say about it to Shohei. He's not happy. But anyway, pretty funny to me. So 1-1.
Came after first strike breaking ball.
Sweeper away. Take. Let's see how Shohei approaches Nolan. I would think sweepers away constantly, fastballs away constantly. That was a good pitch to hit, but he was off timing. I wouldn't throw him anything in. And then fastball up gets him at 98.8. So it all started with the slow curveball. Incredible. If you can drop in a 72-mile-an-hour curveball right on right to a guy who's quick twitch like Nolan, first pitch, the at-bat's kind of over, to be honest with you. Because now his pace is so messed up and you have 99 in your back pocket. I mean, forget it. Like that's just wild. So punch out there to start off the second. Here is, what's this dude's name? Smith? Pavin Smith? Yeah, Pavin. UVA guy. Dead pull. All right, fastball up, curveball coming here, super slow. I love when he pairs those together. Just so much separation in speed. Sweeper down. Here comes one of the 3 splits we'll see all day. That's not a strike.
This is his 10th time tonight, 3 for 18.
4-seam up in, but it's like 99. And he's doing a great job of his 2-strike fastballs are like upper end of his velo range too. So he makes you cover from low 70s to 100 with all sorts of unusual shapes and the ability to change speeds on each individual pitch. Great take there on that sweeper. And then he's going to punch him out on the next one. Something about the 3-2 count versus the 2-2 count. You know, hitters really trust that you're going to throw a strike on 3-2, so you see a lot more chase on 3-2. It's probably the best chase count in the game. And Shohei takes advantage of that, so 2 strikeouts to start off the second inning. And then another slow curveball, so it does it to everybody in this inning. And like I said, that's a great way to lead off at-bats if you know you're not going to get any swings on it. And then a little sweeper off of that. Mookie makes that play on the run, flips it over to Freddie. Umpire says, I saw you were doing it on the transfer. It's fine. All right, third time through. Here's Ildemaro Vargas, who was probably, I think, the biggest OPS dropper from April to May. He was red hot in April, and we even watched him one game, but his track record, you know, suggested he wasn't going to keep that up forever. All right, and then an immediate 3-0 count.
Is available off the bench.
Strike there.
Story said Marte is right at that very critical point, so he gets the day off today.
Strike there. And he comes back from 3-0 successfully and then gets a broken bat on a fastball middle. I don't get it. You can't throw a ball more down the middle to a good hitter, pretty good contact hitter, and break his bat. I mean, you just don't see it.
Shattered the bat. Freddie well off the bag.
Okay, first out of the third. All right, next up.
Look out, there's
Another insane miss at the head.
Sweeper that didn't sweep.
Fernandez, and now he's gonna fix it with a good sweeper for a strike. So he's got the 1-pitch adjustments on lock. Now 98 away, gets the half swing chase, and then he's gonna punch him out with the sweeper. Yeah, really good execution. And oh! So I'm looking at the finger. See him looking at the finger there. Something's bugging the finger. Goes to bite it. So yeah, it must be something like that. That's probably why he shut down the splitters. Good call earlier, by the way. All right, next. 2 outs here in the third. It is Tommy Troy, who we haven't really watched much of yet. Rookie, Stanford guy. 1-1 after that sweeper. Here's the heater. I do think for the rookies, Shohei's got to be that guy. Like, you're in the box and you're like, oh my God, that's Shohei Ohtani I'm facing. Pulled foul. It's like when I got to face A-Rod, you know, that's how it felt. Ooh, slow curveball. Should have had him. Had him totally frozen. This is such a cheeky pitch. Doesn't get him, but wow, I love it. Oh, and good job by Will Smith. Very underrated catcher, according to Spectre. To not challenge there. Then sweeper up. Actually a decent swing, but that's a ball. Blocks it off to center, fly out to Pajes, and he's through 3. Minimum through 3. On to the fourth.
Affects rosters.
Geraldo Perdomo. Fastball away, strike. Next up, splitter. Ooh, called strike on the split. And then he's going to punch him out looking here on 99.4, up and away. Perdomo with the challenge. And I get why he challenged it, but that's in there. It's the lack of horizontal that that Shohei gets. You know, that's the big difference. You know, only 3.9 inches of horizontal. So in your mind as a hitter, this ball faded off the edge a little bit, but it hung in there pretty true. And he ends up being caught looking, little window shopping there. Here is Corbin Carroll, splitter down. That's the last one of the game. He bangs it after that. 1-0 sweeper, back door, very nice. Notice 80-mile-an-hour sweeper. So that's why I say, like, even though he pared down his arsenal, it's the way that he changes up the speeds on his pitches. You know, 80, and then we've seen 88-mile-an-hour sweepers in this game. So keep that in mind when you're evaluating Shohei. Like, there's like a lot of art to his game too. 99 in, Corbin chops that to first. Frederick is there, flips it over to Shohei. 2 outs. Here's Gabby Moreno. 68-mile-an-hour curveball. He really tried to take it off. So now this is new record, slowest pitch. Thinks he's Greinke or something out here. And you can see there was no intent here, but I love the idea behind the really slow curveball. And just dropping it in there, even though that was a ball. Now he's going to come back with the sweeper.
Shades over toward the pool in center for Moreno.
That's in there. So he's going from slow to fast within at-bats quite often. That's another way to kind of make yourself nastier as at-bats go on. Hangs in there with a 97-mile-an-hour fastball. Now, I just noticed something mechanically here. All right, check out his body tilt on the fastball he misses here. There's only a little bit of lean. Like, he comes in and then he gets this much lean right here. So we're looking at about this angle right here. I don't know what that is, but that's the angle right there. I'm going to tell you, I bet the next pitch, the angle is a lot more acute. Let's see. Looks to me like he gets a lot more, yeah, shoulder lean. Like, he really leans into it here. All right, maybe it's not. Maybe the angle's not any different, but I felt like he had a little bit more of a, like he wanted to lean in here a little more. Anyway, he sticks this fastball beautifully on the corner. Nice pitch. 2-2. Curveball coming again. Going for the slow down. No swing. 3-2. Yeah, we can watch Geritt too. I only watched a little bit of the game, so we can watch him for sure. Fouled off, and then 99-9. And this is the first hit of the game. Gabby Moreno, a little slash to right down the line. He's going for 2. Tucker's catapult throw doesn't get him, so a 2-out double by Gabby Moreno. And that brings up my guy Nolan. Let's watch how he pitches him the second time. Nolan's been playing great, by the way. Been meaning to watch his at-bats a little more often, but I haven't gotten around to it. Ball 2. Wow, they're going in. And he misses. That was actually a dangerous pitch. I'm not going to say stupid. That was a dangerous pitch because Nolan's so quick in, and you know he's locked in on heaters. But he kind of doesn't matter because he pulls it away. All right, 3-0 fastball. Don't put it past him to swing. That's probably the one he would have wanted to swing at. But he doesn't. 3-1 sweeper. Pretty good pass at that, but he's under it. And now to the slow curveball. I like this pitch here. Misses in with it, rips it foul, and then he's going to get him out with 100.4. Fastest fastball of the game yet. And he keeps it away from Nolan, which is the big key since he wants to pull. This would have been a situation where a little opposite field grounder would have done the trick, probably. Yeah, I mean, maybe. Got a decent hole over there, but that's just, I'm not going to tell Nolan to change his approach. He needs to pull balls. That's what he does. But this is how you face him. You throw him away like that, and at times it works. Good pitch there. He's through 4. On to the 5th.
One more time. He's got one more time.
I'm gonna run that first pick back because it was frozen. All right, first pitch, backdoor sweeper, misses in, ball 1. This is Pavin Smith. Sweeper again. He got him the chase sweeper on 3-2 last time. So sweeper, sweeper, sweeper. This one's harder. This one's 85-5. 1-2 count. And now he's going to go curveball, but this is a harder version. 80.6 mono curveball fouled off. And now 99. I do think the way that he's changed the speeds on his pitches has been a level up this year for him. I'm trying to figure out what it is. Why is he so effective at not allowing runs? I think the fastball shape might be interesting. The overall mix, but also the change of speed and the ability to finish harder with the fastball than he starts. And that's what he does here with the 98.2 up. See ya. Here is Waldschmidt. Chases a sweeper there, and that's the hard version, 84-3, 84-8. It's almost like he can suss out when you're going to be aggressive. This is a poor miss, but I used to have really good results in this spot too on sweeper because not a lot of guys swing at that. And it's an awkward spot to swing at. So that's what happens here after a little leg hand, gets him 0-2. And now he's going to go slow curveball for the called strike. Oh, that was sick. So sweeper, sweeper, knee buckling, top to bottom, curveball at the top of the zone, the back of the ABS. And Shohei was feeling himself after this pitch. The old thumbs up. Yes, sir, that was thumbs up worthy. That was fantastic. All right, on to the next.
He's the second baseman tonight.
Vargas, heater up, doors.
Vargas still very much
Heater again.
Offensively, he's hit in 5 of his last 7.
Popped up. And another easy inning in the 5th. His pitching has been incredible this year. All right, 6th inning, Fernandez. Heater away. Also, command got better as the game went on. He's throwing a much higher percentage of strikes now. That's a dotted sweeper away. And then another sweeper. Rolled over to third. Very good location on all 3 of those pitches. Muncy takes care of that. And now Tommy Troy. Fastball up, ball. Slow sweeper. Ball. Medium speed sweeper. Ball. And this is his first walk of the game as he's going to walk Tommy Troy on 4 pitches. 9-hole hitter. So just kind of lost his rhythm there by a little bit. And now he's got Perdomo 3rd time through. Slow sweeper for a strike. And now 98. And this is going to be a hit. Perdomo takes him the other way. Good swing. So he's got 2 on. 1 out here in the 6th. And the meat of the order here. And it's a first pitch fastball to Corbin Carroll. Gets them to hit it right on the ground. They get 1 and 2 for the double play. So incredible ability to get out of anything he's in. And he's got, arguably their best player at the plate here, who's fast as hell. And yet he's able to get a really crisp double play that's turned very nicely. I thought Mookie did a great job getting rid of that thing for the double play. So Shohei continues to dominate. For me, it's the range on his, especially his breaking balls, and then also the ability to go to a 99, 100 with 2 strikes a lot. That's sort of blowing my mind right now. Michael Davis, the ability to throw so many different kinds of breakers at different speeds for strikes. He isn't throwing from the same arm angle, so no, y'all aren't making it up. He's not. The curve's popping way higher, 100%, on the release height. Actually, that gives me a chance to pull up something here. Shohei. This is tough, though, because he's a two-way player, and I don't know how I handled this. Hitting. Did I do pitching here somewhere? This is his swing profile. I need his hitting. Oh, here's his pitching. All right. We were just talking about, what were we just talking about? His range of speeds. Oh, and the different release heights. Yeah. Different release heights. Here we go. Release height by pitch type. Bam. So yeah, check that out. Shohei's got a 6.22 feet of release height on the curveball. And then you can see on the sweeper, he's at 5.6. So that's a major difference. Almost a half a foot difference there. Maybe a full half a foot difference in terms of release height between sweeper and curveball. So you guys aren't making it up. He's absolutely doing that. But his four seam and his sweeper release height are almost identical. as well as the split and the sinker. So those pitches are all out of a similar height. He just climbs on that curveball to get above it. Yeah, new tool if you guys want to check it out. It's not totally finished yet, but advanced-scout.com is the thing I've been working on. Finally got that up last night. Sent it to Mitch last night. The funnest part of this tool is the broadcast view of my approach angle tool. So you can see that Shohei's VAA on his four seam is 41st percentile. And his HAA is 83rd percentile. So he does come right to left pretty good. And then you can check out his other pitches here as well. This is his sweep. His curveball's got 6th percentile, but that's a good thing. He's one of the steepest going downhill on his curveball in the league. And then the sweeper. Oh, Brett's making fun of my dynamic. Funnest. I should say most fun. Yes, most fun. Sorry. Anyway, 66th percentile VAA on the sweeper, 49th on the HAA, which actually is less than I would have thought. I would have thought he created even more angle on his sweeper than he does. But anyway, it's fun to look at that stuff, etc. But yeah, we could see that he really does climb on the curveball. But there's no way around it. I mean, he's funnest. He's just ridiculous, you know? Is it weird his release height varies, but his extension remains consistent? Maybe a little bit. You would think on the climber you would be a little shorter with your stride, so you'd have a little less extension. Maybe that is a little weird. That is a little weird. Uno Chaser, what website do you use to watch each full at bat? Ayo's got the answer. It's called the Dugout app. It's private, unfortunately, for everybody, but that's why we have it on here. All right, let me get in the chat here for a minute, and then we'll go on to somebody next. With the heavy emphasis on high heat and punching tickets, would that mean if you had a guy with 1990 speed but was nasty pitching to contact and throwing Maddox's, do you draft? All right, a couple things here, Brian. Number one, there's a little bit of a misconception around Greg Maddux. He threw hard for his time, especially when he was young. He could touch 95s, 96s. So he wasn't drafted off of this, like, oh, you're a wizard. He was a second rounder. Like, he wasn't drafted in the top 5 picks, like you're a wizard and we know it. He just was a wizard. They didn't know it yet. He had to learn it. Even his rookie year with the Cubs, he wasn't particularly great, and then he made some adjustments. That being said, I've talked about this also on this stream quite a bit. The smart teams now, like you look at a guy like Connolly early, like that's a savvy draft pick, a guy who was at West Point, and then he was at Virginia, and he had great pitchability and success, but wasn't pumping 100, was throwing 90, 91, but then the Red Sox added some velocity to him with their training. Now he's 94, 96, or whatever he is, and now that's a big level up because he already had the pitchability. So, the bottom line is pitchability is still going to keep you in the big leagues, and that's really the separator now, in my opinion. Like all the other stuff, like we know you're going to have good stuff. That's a prerequisite now, but it's can you do all the other things? Command your pitches for strikes, have multiple pitches in general that you can throw on command, have an answer for every type of hitter, have actual command and an idea of how to sequence your stuff and how your stuff plays. Like you just saw Shohei. Shohei's got great stuff, but what makes him better a little bit is the change of speed and the variation, and a little bit of unpredictability with his wildness at times. So there's a lot of different factors that make you good, and velocity is not all of it. In fact, when I'm watching a lot of these draft prospects, I don't really particularly care how hard they throw. It's more so I'm looking at how they move and what kind of numbers they put up and like what kind of shapes they can actually produce. And you're kind of trying to put it together in your head, like project them out. Like what can we turn this guy into? All right, what else we got here in the chat? StatCast says his curve's arm angle is 45 degrees versus 33 on the sweepers. So we just saw that in the release height manifested as well. So that's pretty good. No one ever knows the slow curve is coming. Exactly. You can't look for the slow curve. You can't look for something at 72 miles an hour or 68 miles an hour, whatever, like Greinke used to do, and still compete with the medium speed and fast pitches, especially when Shohei can go to 99. So to me, that's a cheat code. Cheat code pitch. I've always felt the ability to manipulate the shape and location of a given pitch was almost more important than having many totally distinct pitches. This is also possibly true. A lot of slider guys, Sergio Romo is one of the best examples, varying up the shape of his slider to do what he needed in the moment. So he didn't have more pitches, but he had variations off of his pitch. Oh man, there's so much good stuff in here. Greg Maddux was not Andres Satoria. Good point. Ayo, if you missed it, there was a super chat back there. Ooh, was there? Dang it. I'm gonna have to go dig it out on the YouTube chat. There it is. Do you have any thoughts on Andre Pallante? He's had a decent start so far. All right, so Andre Pallante. Yeah, I got some thoughts. Maybe not the most thoughts in the world, but we can take a 2-second look at his page and show what's a little interesting about him. You want to talk about a weird fastball shape? That's Andre Pallante in a nutshell. His four seam averages 12.3 inches of rise, not impressive, and almost true cut. So now you're talking about just a weird pitch, similar to actually Shohei's pitch right now, but even more extreme. And he comes from the 58-degree arm angle. So everything plays super weird out of his hand. And I think that's kind of his game, is weird ground ball contact on a four-seamer when most guys get ground balls with sinkers or changeups. So thanks for this question in the super chat. He also throws a sinker as well, which actually has more lift at times than his four-seam. So it's a really weird combination. And again, weird is good. He's never going to strike out a lot of guys, but he's going to get a lot of weird on-the-ground contact. And that does make me want to think real quick, does he have any weird approach angle stuff going on here? Because I bet he does. I'm just assuming he's got some weird, because with the high arm angle and the low amount of vert on that four seam, yeah, sure enough. So this is his VAA on his four seam, Andre Pallante. Negative 5.7 VAA, that's second percentile. So it's one of the most downhill four seamers by shape that exists in the big leagues. So you're coming up there in your mind, you're thinking four seam. His pitch doesn't resemble a four seam shape at all. And I think that's very useful because you're subverting expectations. Sliders about normal. Sinker, negative 5 VAA. That's weird because now that's the other end of the spectrum. So you think sinker and you're thinking tons of downhill action. This has a little bit of uphill runny action. So that's weird. And then his knuckle curve is 82nd percentile in terms of drop. Well, that's the split. And then the knuckle curve is 8th percentile, which is really good. So super steep knuckle curve. So he has a lot of downhill action going on. And that's what makes him a ground ball pitcher with a four seam, which is just a weird thing. So that's my answer about Pallante. He's been fine, but it's the four seam with the high arm angle and no lift. So Uncle Ted and Spectre are on it. Super supinator. That four seam is more like a ride cutter, but without ride. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I find him very interesting. Thanks for that question. I'm not going to watch him pitch probably today, but thanks for that question about Pallante. He has been solid. 12 games, 3.96, 63 innings. He also has a way about him of kind of going deep into ball games, relatively deep. He's been over 5, and he's pitched 6 into the 6th and 7th inning a number of times. So he's not like killing it, but he's not bad either. And I think he pitched last night, right? 5 2/3, 3 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. So he's not a spectacular guy, but he's pretty good. And yeah, website's public if you want to putz around on it a little bit, advanced-scout.com. So, I made it kind of like, the idea behind it was, instead of like all the other sites have all the information, but this is like a quick grab, especially for approach angles, because those seem to be tough to find, but also like a quick grab, like I have stuff by count. So like if I were facing a pitcher, I'm looking for tendencies. I have all that information there. If I'm facing a batter, I'm looking for tendencies, and I have a lot of that information in there. That's all it is. It's just like scouting information. That's why I call it advanced scout. Stuff I would want to know. But that's about it. All right. Back to the chat. And then we're going to get into another baseball player next. So let's see. All right, so you guys want Webby next, Michael Holton? All right, Logan Webb. We'll do Logan Webb. And then Troy Melton is a must today as well. Troy Melton, Logan Webb, these guys are must today. Logan Webb's had a weird year. We almost haven't watched him hardly at all. So let's take a peek at Logan on the season right now. He's not off to his best start, but something tells me he'll get right back into the mid threes to low threes by when it's all said and done. This guy has been a 200 inning arm each of the past 2 years. He's a huge early contact guy, gets you on the ground, makes it look easy a lot of times, but it's not like he's avoiding contact either. Strikeout rate is notably down this year, 20.3%. What did he have last season? 26.2%. So that's a 6% drop year over year. And then, it's funny, in 2024, he was at this rate as well, and he had a good year with 347. So last year, he got more strikeouts. That was a level up for him. Now that's sort of come back to the pack. But anyway, he pitched great last night. He almost had a no-hitter, or he was trending towards a no-hitter until I jinxed it, and it was against the Brewers, which are not an easy team to face. 7 innings, 1 hit, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts, 95 pitches. Breakdown on him yesterday, 26 changeups, 26 sinkers, that's the ground balls, 16 sweepers, 15 cutters, which is a pitch he's been leaning in on a little bit, and 12 four-seamers. We know about Logan Webb. He's got an extremely flat VAA. I checked it yesterday. It's like -4 degrees. So his four-seam can play up in the zone as an effective pitch because of his arm angle, but in general, he's looking to get quick outs and keep it moving. So let's see how Logan Webb did it yesterday versus the Brewers. We'll watch decision pitches on Logan. Result pitches on Logan. All right, Webby, here we go for my Giants fans. I know they've had a tough go. He's going to open the game with a strikeout versus Christian Yelich, a former nemesis of mine, and that's that four-seam fastball. Yes, it only has 10 vert, but I checked it yesterday. He's in like the 96th percentile or 93rd percentile of VAA on four-seam upshoot because of that low slot. And he gets a 10.5-inch vert fastball by Yelich for the first out of this game. All right, next up.
Good night at the ballpark. The 2-1. Vaughn off the end of the bat to first base. Devers feeds Webb.
Andrew Vaughn caps a sweeper for an easy ground out there, and then he's going to get another out here on a sweeper to Bryce Terang, who tries to elevate on that sweeper down and just misses it as Jung-Hoo Lee's going to catch that at the warning track. How hard he hit that? Felt like he hit that hard. 99.8 at 35. So 1-2-3 first, second inning. William Contreras, first pitch, sinker, ground out. That's Logan Webb's game. That's why he's led the league in innings, because he can get one pitch outs often. All right, 3-2. Jake Bowers, who we had a request yesterday to watch, and maybe we'll get there at some point, beats him with that four-seam up with 7 vert on it. So it's just funny, like years ago, everybody was obsessed with IVB on your four-seam, but really we have shown how if you can locate, it's more about the approach angle than the IVB. And Logan Webb is an example of that, because at that point they would tell him not to even throw four-seamers because he had such low IVB, and that's proven to be a false thing. All right, here's a strikeout of Mitchell. Little check swing, sweeper down. So 6 up, 6 down, third inning. Sal Frelick. Backdoor sweeper, chopper to short. Adames takes care of that. Next up, Rengifo, little sinker in. Nice play by Arise, who's been tremendous at second base. Nice play there.
Some of the guys on that slide, Josh Adamshevsky, had a big day today, then a noon game.
Sweeper down in, so 3 outs on breaking balls there. Actually, there was 1 sinker to Rengifo, but 2 outs on sweepers there. 3 balls on the ground. Easy third inning. Minimum through 3. Yelich to start off the 4th. Four-seam down freeze. Very useful pitch as well, because again, you don't want to chase his sinker or his changeup down, and he throws a lot of those, so then you're going to let go of anything in the bottom of the zone. And this is an absolute frozen rope to the bottom of the zone for strike 3 against Yelich. Nice pitch. All right, next up. Hey, kid. Four-seam up attempt to Vaughn. Taps it back to the mound. 2 outs there. Hi, Archer. Hey, buddy. Oh, did you write that in the chat?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed it. I'm sorry. Do you want to say hi to everybody? All right.
Show them your sneaky laugh.
Come here, Arch. Come here, so I can put you on the screen so they can see you.
Show them your.
But they want to hear your laugh.
Show them your laugh. Your funny laugh. You gotta show them.
You gotta come here, man. Can I
them
show you
your
real
laugh.
quick? Come here.
Look, Archer, you can see the screen.
Bubba doesn't want to come on. People are saying hi to you. They're saying hi, Arch. Hi, Archie. Hi, Archie.
I'd rather see you here.
What?
Yeah, go, Jack
Come.
will show you.
You can.
We'll show
We'll
you.
see you. Come here. Come here, Arch. 2 seconds. Come here, Bubba.
Bella.
All right. We're gonna have to move on. He doesn't want to come on. All right. So what was this pitch? This was another 4-seam up to Bryce Terang. Beats him on the ground. This is a nice play by Matt Chapman. Very nice play. All right, that's going to end the 4th inning. On to the 5th inning. No-hitter still intact. Here's the first out with a cutter. William Contreras. Cutter up. He also has good VAA on his cutter. So you see getting guys to swing under that all day long. Daisy's in her crate taking a nap.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Check in with Sophia more.
I know it's hot in here. 3-0 swing by Jake Bauers. You can tell he's feeling groovy. You know, that reminds me that he hit a home run off me one time on a 3-0 pitch. That bastard.
Up and down type of thing.
Great swing by him back in 2019 on the Indians, when they were still the Indians. All right, ground out there on 3-0 from Logan Webb, and then another out here on a cutter to Mitchell. Gets it up, and he's under that and flies it out. So you kind of see the deal. He's either above the barrel, below the barrel. Strikeouts are there at times, but for the most part, he's just trying to get you to either pop it up with the VAA action, or he's trying to have you pound it in the ground with his sink and changeup. All right, there's a walk. So that would have been, he was perfect through 5. Leadoff walk in the 6th to Frelick. Then a 1-pitch out here to Rengifo. They were running, so
Stayed out of the double play without running.
here you go, buddy. He was running, so no double play. And now change up to Hamilton. You know, it's interesting. Changeup's his best pitch, but that's like, I think that's the first out on a changeup so far. Man on third, 2 outs. Let's watch this whole at bat. 3-pitch strikeout of Yelich, probably. Cutter up, swings under that, 4-seam up, under that, and then change up down, no strikeout, but change up down gets the rollover. Really nice pitch. No hitter through 6. Do you want to come on the screen now? Do you want to surprise everybody?
Do your laugh.
All right, 7th inning, gets the first guy out with a sweeper, Andrew Vaughn. And this is right when I turned on the TV and jinxed the whole situation. Sweeper fly ball. And then here's the hit. Bryce Terang, 1 out in the 7th. 1-2 sweeper. Not even a strike. Dinks it to left. Great effort by Chapman, which you have to have respect for. Diving after this ball. But
1-2.
that's the hit. That breaks up the no-hitter. His pitch count was sort of under control, but not really. That was pitch 92, so it was going to be interesting. I'm sure they would have let him go for it, but he actually comes out after this inning. Here's a first pitch sinker to Contreras. There's a 1-pitch out. Sinker in on the hands. And then he's going to finish out his outing here with Jake Bauers again grounding out on a sinker. Bauers could not get underneath that sinker for the life of him in this game. And Logan Webb runs right through it. 1 walk and 1 hit, and that's it, and that's all. And you see the approach. Sometimes the BABIP gods, the baseball gods, are going to get him a little bit with a bunch of hits. But a bunch of it, you know, for the most part, he's going to get a lot of quick outs because you see he doesn't allow a ton of hard contact traditionally. I know that this year's been a little different. In terms of his hard hit percentage, 45. So he's only 13th percentile hard hit. But you go back to most of his career, he's at least league average or so. Wow, actually, these are all ground balls. That's why they're a little hard hit. But my point is not dangerous contact. For most of his career, he's avoiding those barrels really well. Above average almost every year. I don't know. Stuff-wise, something feels a little off with Logan Webb, but that's what it generally looks like when he pitches well. So good job for him. It's probably a little bit too much too late for the Giants, honestly. But I felt like it was good. Good question here. I saw there was something here about why were they shifting on the outside pitch? Yeah, why were they shifted on an away pitch? They haven't caught up with this enough, but I also feel like if you jump around with your infield defense based off what you know the guy's about to throw, like you get the info in the pitch comm, in a way that's kind of tipping the pitch, right? Like if you just all of a sudden move over, they're like, oh, something else must be coming here. So you kind of have to like stick with it, whatever it is, and then you know, you get a little exposed. But I think as the pitcher, you have to pitch to your defense a little bit as well. Weird thing about it was the pitch was down and away. He meant to go down in. It wasn't a strike. So if anything, got to give credit to Terang for putting it in play. But no hitters are hard. They're rare for a reason. You know what I'm saying? What's a good VAA on a cutter? It's similar to a fastball. You want to be, you really want to be super low number because you want that ball to play above the barrel. Hold on. Here's Logan Webb, and I just talked about it. He's got a very flat VAA on his four-seamer. This is the four-seam VAA, 91st percentile, 32nd best in baseball in terms of going uphill. Once you get close to that -4, if you get under -4, that's incredible. That's his four-seam VAA. Here's his cutter, which is actually 94th percentile VAA for cutter. -4.9 degrees. So that's what I'm talking about. Those two pitches play up in the zone. Everything else plays down in the zone. Like here's his changeup, for example, -7.7, 26th percentile, but that's a good thing. You want to be below the 50% mark when you're talking about changeups on this metric. So that's what we're looking at with Logan Webb. Good outing by him. And then we'll move on to the next guy. I really need to watch Troy Melton. I see tons of requests in here. And you guys have been awesome. We have a great crowd in here today. We're over 100 people. I appreciate it. And I'm going to keep trying to dig in on as many of your guys as possible, all the way up until about 12:30 when I have a podcast with Rob Bradford later today. But I think we're going to do Troy Melton next. But let me hop in the chat here for a minute. Please do me a favor and click that like button while you're here. That really helps get the stream out to more and more people. All right, what else we got here? If the Giants could get Logan to properly use his four-seam, how could they not do the same with Kyle Harrison? Kyle Harrison had a little bit of a downturn in stuff one year over the other, and I think the Giants just kind of panicked on that, and maybe there's probably some more that played into it that we don't know about. But, you know, it's not like he wasn't desirable. I mean, the Red Sox wanted him in that trade for Devers. I just think it was a mistake, misguided by both teams to not stick with him a little bit, given what we've seen right now with Milwaukee. But, I mean, it's such a reversal of fortune that it's kind of wild. Kind of warful. Yelly / 571, 625, 714 off of AO. Absolutely owned me. I did punch him one time, thank God. But for the most part, I just couldn't get him to chase. My East-West Arsenal wasn't it. And remember, I faced him a lot in his best 2 years, 18-19. So he was really, really tough. I don't get the HAA-VAA thing. Okay, so it's basically the angle at which the ball enters the strike zone. So the flatter, the better on a four-seam up. So those are lower negative degrees in the VAA. That's vertical. And then on HAA, I think, you know, it's not be-all and end-all, but you do see some guys that pitch with that extreme, I'm throwing way to the side and funneling everything on an angle towards the strike zone, and that can be effective in certain arsenals. Will Warren is a huge one right now for the Yankees, you know, and Kyle Harrison's a good example for the Brewers. So that's what that is. And that's becoming a little bit more of something that I've been paying attention to lately. 4Ks makes me think luck had a little bit to do with it. It did. No doubt about it. Little BABIP, but there also wasn't a lot of hard hit balls, a lot of balls on the ground. So that's all intentional. And that's kind of his style. He's a strikeout pitcher, but he's not a strikeout or bust pitcher. He's a contact early, and if not, I'll strike you out pitcher. But, you know, that's part of the game. Could you do some sort of breakdown on Acuna and what's going wrong with him? So he's actually been hitting better, a lot better lately. He had that little home run binge going on. I don't think anything's wrong with Acuna. I think he'll be right back up to high levels by the end of the year. I think he's one of the best talents in the game. So I'm not totally worried about him. Sometimes when he's off, it's a timing thing, or he gets a little anxious and presses a little bit at the plate. But overall, he usually gets himself into a groove at some point. HAVAA was height-adjusted VAA. Oh, I didn't know that you were talking about that. That's a whole nother story, but to me, I don't care as much about that. I care about the angle going through the zone. I don't care much about height-adjusted. Height-adjusted pitch metrics kind of are interesting because, you know, if you have a low vert but high slot, that's great. Or if you have a low slot but high vert on a fastball, that's great. It's like a double whammy for the angle. That's all. We're hitting 438 on the like button. Yeah, we could do a little better than that, guys. Keep tacking on those likes. We're about to go into Troy Melton, who's a pitcher that we have not watched yet this year. He's only made, I believe, 2 starts. He's a big Tigers prospect, 3 games now. They were waiting on him to come back. He's a weird one. He's got big extension on his pitches, plenty of velocity, plenty of stuff, good command overall for a young guy, but doesn't really have a lot of swing and miss in his game, which is a little bit troubling. But when it goes well, like it did yesterday, he can pitch deep into games. He's going to be a very interesting guy to watch how the Tigers develop him, how they try to bring more whiff out of him. Because you can see the early profile here. Second percentile whiff, only 11.4% K. Hard to pitch that way, very hard to pitch that way in the big leagues. And you go back to 25 when he debuted last year. Actually, it was interesting in the postseason. It's not much more impressive there. I mean, it's more impressive, but not much more. Below average whiff, below average K. So it's a huge amount of extension, and it's just a weird profile. So anyway, he pitched yesterday versus the Rays, Detroit 7, Tampa Bay 2. Troy Melton, 8 innings in this game and 94 pitches. So this is what it looks like when he's going well. But I just think he's going to be an interesting guy to track. And let's kind of see what he looked like in this game. 8 innings, 4 hits, 2 earnings, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, 1 home run. What was the mix on Melton? 37 4-seamers, average 95 on those. 20 sliders, 19 cutters. So 4-seam, slider, and cutter. 7 sinkers, 6 curveballs, 5 splits. He faced a pretty even split of righties and lefties. He didn't get a ton of whiff, but we all know that's not his game. But he does pound the strike zone, 62% strikes. So let's watch whether this one was a little bit of luck or not versus the Rays. Curious to see. Detroit and Tampa Bay. This was a request in the Discord What to Watch section, as well as Jason Benetti last night, texting with him a little bit about Melton. He said he's interesting. Take a look-see. I said, all right. First batter of the game, Chandler Simpson. He's going to go splitter to him here. And he gets a line out to third. So that was a little fortunate for the first out of the game. Colt Keith catches a Watch Your Lips liner for the first out of that game. Second up, Junior Caminero. Heater to Junior. Hit extremely hard through the hole for a base hit, 99. Maybe not as hard as I thought. But Junior's on with a base hit, and here comes Aranda. 4-pitch walk to Aranda. So a typically good command, has first and second. 1 out here, and it's Yandy Diaz, and Yandy's going to get the run scoring going on the slider down. He stays through that, as he always does, punches it to center. Caminero comes in. Tampa Bay on the board. Next up, Richie Palacios. Berkeley Carroll, great. Gets him out on a down and away heater, little chopper over to Torque, so he'll have second and third. 2 outs, so let's watch how he finishes this inning. Facing Williamson. First pitch, sinker down ball. Second pitch, 4-seam. Strike. I think deception might be a thing with him too. He's got a very short arm action, hand behind head thing going on. There's a sinker run in. That's a great pitch because he was ready to dive to the outer corner, and then he got the, oh my God, that pitch is going to hit me swing. And then he's going to get him out with fastball. 4-seam up, kind of beats him. Almost was bad for him, but Torkelson is there playing way off the bag. It's amazing. You have all this room here, and here, and yet you hit it in an area where the first baseman can field it. Unbelievable. So that's the first inning. Second inning. 2-2, fastball to Mullins, destroyed to right for a home run. And this is what I've been worried about a little bit with Melton. It's not a special fastball by shape. Yeah, it's got a little more perceived velocity on it, but you see he's an over-the-top arm angle with only 13 inches of vert, so he's got a very mid approach angle. So to me, like, he's a little bit too close to average to be blowing fastballs by guys. The metrics show that in terms of whiff, and also by Cedric Mullins being on time for one of his fastballs and hitting at 104.3, which he hasn't done a lot of lately. So home run there, that's the second run, and I don't think he gives up anything after that. Sinker here to Fortes, and another hit. So early it wasn't looking good. He must have gotten the batted ball luck to really turn around in this game. Man on, nobody out here. Strike 3 on a cutter down to Victor Mesa Jr. This is a decent little pitch. 93-mile-an-hour cutter. Don't think he meant to throw it down. Obviously the target's up, but it kind of worked out. Now we're back to the top of the order. Chandler Simpson, first pitch cutter. Fly ball, that's what you want out of Simpson. You want to hit a fly ball. Are there any public deception metrics? Haven't seen any of those yet. And then a strikeout of Junior Caminero on the slider. Kind of a backup down-in slider. So far, I don't think he's looked particularly great, but he's about to go the next 6 frames scoreless. And he starts it with a walk. This is such a weird outing. 3-2 cutter up and away walk. And now maybe a first pitch double play, and this is the beginning of good things? Yeah, first pitch double play out of Yandy. Torres to McGonigal to Torkelson, double play. Yandy is a great hitter, but also a big-time double play candidate. And now he's going to punch out Richie on a slider down in. Now that was a good slider. That's a good back footer right there. That's an unhittable pitch. You're going to get some chase out of that. Nice pitch. All right, 4th inning. Slider ground out to McGonigal from Williamson. Next up is Cedric Mullins. So a bunch of outs in a row now on sliders. Slider down, popped up in foul territory. That's going to be Colt Keith. 2 outs there, and then he's going to get a 1-pitch out of Fortes on a cutter. And he has a very clean 4th inning. So yeah, that double play by Yandy set the success in motion. We're on to the 5th. Splitter out here on 0-2 to Mesa. 1 hopper to Torque. Back to the top. Chandler Simpson, first pitch out. Did you get him in the air here? Kinda. That's the second line out to Colt Keith from Simpson. That's very rare. And then another quick out here to Caminero. So a really quick 5th inning. Got him off the cap with the slider. He's also covered first an obnoxious amount of times in the last inning and a half. All right, slider here to Aranda. Back door, gets him off the end of the bat, fly out to right. Now, cutter to Yandy. That's going to work. Little deflection to Glaber. Gets him to chase that cutter. And then another 1-pitch out here to Palacios. Gets him to fly it out. That one had a little more vert on it at least. That's probably why he got above the barrel. So another fast out, and now we're on to the 7th. 0-2 count. So he really did a great job. It looks like fundamentally something clicked in the middle of that 3rd inning, and he's been 0-2 on almost everybody since then. And this is just a fastball right down the middle. Got caught looking for something else. 2-pitch out here to Mullins. Splitter down. Another rollover. And then in-play outs on a 4-seam here to Fortes. Actually a pretty good swing on that, but hit it too high. Out to Vierling, and that earned him a chance to go out for the 8th inning. So on a staff where they're taking guys out in the 1st inning all the time, Melton gets to work into the 8th inning, which is huge for the Tigers. They need some long starts to reset everything every now and then. Fly out there from Mesa. 4th time facing Chandler Simpson here. And this time he's going to get the strikeout. Finally got a heater above the zone. Punch out there, and then he'll finish his outing with Junior Caminero on a fastball. And this is 97-3 to end the 8th inning. So, yeah, something clicked in that 3rd inning. Started getting better batted ball luck. Started really dictating the strike zone a lot better. But I do think Jacob Melton is a weird case. And I felt like there's a lot of luck involved with his approach right now. Good thing he throws a lot of strikes, but I'm not that enthused by his fastball shape. Let's see what Fangraphs has to say in terms of his stuff plus. Went to the wrong one. I want Troy Melton. Troy Melton stuff plus. Where are they sitting at with him right now? So they're putting him at a 96 stuff plus. They like his splitter as his best pitch, 112 stuff rating and curveball 102. Everything else it has below average. Has that cutter being way below average, slider being way below average, sinker and fastball right around average. I'd say it's probably the extension because by shape, it's pretty poor. Now, PitchBot is completely different than that. PitchBot has his fastball being above average, sinker being way above average, cutter. So take it all with a grain of salt. But to my eye, the fastball is below average. There's something about his deception, though, that has me intrigued. So let's go out to like the 8th inning, watch him from the side a little bit for a second, because it's a really good extension. And this move here where he puts the ball right behind his head, that's a definite deception piece. Zach Greinke used to do this quite a bit. They call it like obstruction or occlusion or something like that. It's a good trait to have. Makes it hard to see. I wish we had that low camera from behind the batter so you can get a good look at it. But I mean, this arm action short, which I kind of like for him to throw strikes. I mean, he's got great hip-shoulder separation, but yeah, it's all about hiding the ball behind the head because by metrics, he's getting a little bit lucky when he throws his four-seam in the zone, in my opinion. So, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about him. He's had good results, both last year and this and throughout the minors, and he's got that extension or whatever, but I don't know, man. I'm not in love with his pitch shapes, so it's kind of weird. I guess you just don't see it very much, right? Is that the biggest thing? It's got to be the biggest thing. The short arm hides the ball behind the head. It shows as a straight line from the batter's perspective, and you never see it. So that's what we got. No whiff guys need good defense. That's extra variable. Yeah, totally. I mean, you'd like to have him have average amount of whiff either. I mean, we just watched Logan Webb, who is one of the best starters in the game, and he's not necessarily like a crazy whiff guy either. He gets some. But like if you're going to get like 11% strikeout or whatever, then you need great batted ball luck. And I'm not seeing any type of pitching that is like shapes that are lending themselves to can of corn fly balls or all sorts of ground balls. It's kind of in the middle, which makes it a little sketchy in my opinion. Sometimes a guy can just pitch. Too bad we won't give the low whiff guys the chances to show us anymore. There's a few out there. Not as many. Not as many. Blind Faith Take. Tom House's company 3D quarterback applies pitcher biomechanics to make NFL quarterbacks better. Famously stated that you can overlay the kinematic sequence of a pitcher like Greg Maddux with a quarterback like Drew Brees, and they match except for the timing of the weight shift. I just think there's like this desperate attempt by so many people to find the one way to do everything. And, oh, look at all these similarities. I'm sure there are some similarities, but everybody's a different effort, different athlete, different body, different way they do stuff. So, I just kind of think, it's questionable. Melton's minor league K per 9 is over 12 for the last 2 years. I know, but don't you feel like there's a huge gap between the minors and the majors? I mean, just watch Jonah Tong pitch in the minors with his 40% strikeout rate last year and then in the big leagues. Huge difference. Huge difference in my opinion. So, all right, get those like numbers up. Appreciate you guys. AO, tell the Cardinal story, how they tried to mold every pitcher all the same. This was just not just the Cardinals. This was a thing back in the day. Like most teams would have like one archetype, usually whoever their best pitcher was, and they try to make everybody like him. So it was like, they used to have me throw 75% sinkers down in the zone when I was a minor league starter at one point, just to work on that pitch to contact strategy. I mean, it's just so outdated now. But that's what we used to do because that's what their big leaguers did. Chris Carpenter, Kyle Loesch, Jake Westbrook, Jaime Garcia, Adam Wainwright to some extent, a lot of guys. So it was just different like that. Anywho, all right, let's get up to another topic here. We still haven't even talked about Christopher Sanchez and his streak breaking, but I did see some requests for other guys. You know, we haven't watched Geritt yet. I haven't watched Gavin Williams yet. That was a matchup amongst two guys. I see a request here for Walbert Urania. What kind of game did Walbert have yesterday? I didn't notice him on the coffee cups at all. Walbert's on the Angels, right? Oh, he pitched against the Rock Show. What was Walbert's outing? 6 innings, 3 runs, 7 strikeouts. He's got a 2.69 ERA through 11 games, 9 starts. He's actually looking tremendously good by the metrics. Huge ground ball guy. Changeup, sinker, and then 4-seam sweeper. Kind of like the mix. Although it looks like the sinker and the changeup have the exact same movement on them. But he's interesting. There's also Tolle and Max Meyer. So we're going to have to get on our grind here right now. I think we do Tolle next. He's a guy that we've tracked forever. And he's been continuing to pitch really, really well. I'm curious to see what his velocity was, because I think he's so much better 96 plus than not. But to his credit, he's done a better job recovering week to week now and getting over 96 plus pretty regularly. So here's Tolle yesterday versus the O's. 6 innings, 7 hits, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, 99 pitches. Breakdown on Payton. How much did he lean on the heater? Quite a bit. 60% heater yesterday. 59 of those, average 95.6. Cutter, 18 of those, 17 sinkers, only 4 curveballs and 1 changeup, 29% whiff. Overall, 73% first pitch strikes is great. There's also some funny Tolle moments in this one too that we could probably watch from some funny camera angles. So, all right, we'll do Red Sox and Orioles. It is the mustachioed man, Payton Tolle, on the mound, and he starts this game off with a walk.
3-2. And he walks him.
Of the man who never swings, Taylor Ward. We've been talking about him a lot recently. Just doesn't swing, walks a ton, but he's not doing any damage. Sort of a weird profile. Don't know how to feel about that yet. All right, leadoff walk, and then a 9-pitch at-bat versus Gunnar. Ends up getting him with a sinker in. A little bit of an underrated thing in life for the Red Sox is just how good Wilson Contreras is at first base. And you can see the confidence at which he throws this ball to second base. I always love a first baseman who's confident with their throwing arm because they seem to be rare. But good feed there, even though they don't get 2. Next batter up is Adley Rutschman. Cutter down, and that's going to get through the hole. So he does get 2 guys on here in the first inning. And now let's watch him actually pitch some full at-bats. Here's Pete Alonso. First pitch, 4-seam, fouled back. That's his outlier pitch at the end of the day, is that 4-seam, tremendous extension. He's got ride on it. He's got velocity on it. He's got HAA. He's got some level of VAA and HAA going. I think he's got really good VAA. But that's his outlier pitch, and everything plays off of that. So 2 fastballs right down the middle to the polar bear, and he fouls them both off. Crazy. Now they'll try to go higher or more in. Misses there. They're able to get a free out here. Yeah. Nice play by Mickey Gasper. So he gets the free out, and now he can get out of this first inning by striking out Pete. All fastballs to this point. And he's going to stick with it all the way until 3-2. And then does he get a chase on this cutter? Yeah, he does. We talked about that 3-2 chase being huge, and Pete's a victim of that right here. Saw a ton of fastballs, was on the fastball. I also got to believe that his cutter and his 4-seam tunnel extremely well. I mean, do you know that this is a cutter here? You don't really, because his fastball has that same plane. This one just keeps going, and that's what makes Pete chase it. So that was a really evil choice, and I've done this before too, where you throw like 5 or 6 fastballs in a row, and then you throw the breaking ball in 3-2, and it just destroys them. I mean, it's crazy. All right, second inning. He's going to punch out Mayo. Where's this Norby? Ooh, yeah, Mayo. Punches out Mayo with that cutter for chase. I keep forgetting Mayo and Norby confused. I know Norby's on the Marlins. So punches him with the cutter. Nice pitch there. Then a 1-pitch out on a sinker to Basayo. Get to the chopper. Oh, this one was funny. Check out Payton Tolle on this chopper. Like he was going to make this play. This is good from every angle. Dude, how high is this ball over you and you jump? Look at that. What a beast. I mean, he's just too funny to watch. His body language, everything that he does is so good. He's awesome.
High chop on the infield. Durbin will glove it. And in time to get
all right, nice play there. Next up, 3-pitch strikeout of bicep man, Mr. Olympia, O'Neal. 4-seam up away, smell you later. That 4-seam plays crazy.
97 to strike out.
Sick one right there. All right, on to the third. Jackson Holiday. Nice swing. Nice swing right there. Getting inside that sinker for a leadoff base hit from the young kid. And now we have Blaze Alexander. Going to punch him out with that 4-seam up and away. You just got no shot of hitting that with how fast it is, the perceived velo, the angle on it, the whole thing. Incredible. All right, back to the top. Oh, Taylor Ward's going to swing this at-bat. And he's going to hit into a double play. No, he's going to get a hit. All right. Atta babe. Base hit up the middle. First and second, one out. How's he going to get through it? First pitch, cutter to Gunner. He pops it up. That cutter stayed up on him nicely. 2 outs. And that's going to bring up Adley. Going to get him with the 4-seam. Got in on him. His 4-seam is special. It really is. It really, really is. It really, really is. All right, 5th inning. Or 4th inning, excuse me. Pete beats him with the fastball, but this time he dunks it into right. So even when he's giving up hits to righties with the fastball, it's usually weird contact. Haven't seen a lot of loud contact on that pitch yet. Leadoff man on. Mayo. I keep doing that. Fly out to right on a sinker. Sinker here to Basayo. They're looking for the double play. Jams him pretty good on that. And then Tyler O'Neill on the sinker. So second time through the order, started mixing in the sinker even versus righties with great success. 3 outs on sinkers in this inning, 2 to righties. Very nice. Now we're in the 5th inning. And Jackson Holiday going to get him with the curveball, one of the rare ones he's thrown on the day. I also have to believe that the curveball tunnels pretty well off the cutter. So if he goes cutter to curveball, he should be able to get some chase as well. What was the sequence in this at-bat that led to the strikeout? Let's watch this whole at-bat versus Jackson Holiday. Tough at-bat for any lefty. Sinker away, strike, 4-seam, probably up away, up in, well, middle in. Another 4-seam, trying to get it back to that spot. This time they do. He's underneath that. Now 4-seam. Let's see if this is a pulled 4-seam. It is. And that's going to pair well with the curveball. I think they have the same trajectory out of hand. And then see you later. Nasty pitch. Nasty, nasty pitch. And then he'll get his second out of the 5th here on a 4-seam to Alexander. Now he's throwing 97. Here in the 5th inning. This was another funny one. Nice reaction here by Tolle. Everything he does is funny. He's a great character. Hey, no fall, though. Great balance. Hangs with him. All right, last out of the 6th. Actually, it's going to be a hit by Ward. So Ward goes walk, and he gets on base twice. This is just what happens here. A shit show. Yeah. The old infield pop-up hit, or whatever you want to call that. Ooh, and then Gunner gets on here too. So he got in a little bit of trouble here because of that. This ball goes down the line. So he's going to have men on either 1st and 3rd or 2nd and 3rd with 2 outs here in the 5th. Yeah, 2nd and 3rd. Let's watch this whole at-bat versus Adley. Fastball up, ball.
And Tolle with a 1-0.
Ooh, nasty cutter. His cutter's good. I think his cutter's become a much better pitch than what he had last year. And they found the right angle for him to throw it out of. And then four-seam up, beats Adley. He can't do anything with that. Flies it out to right. So they're not touching that fastball. And then now he's got, I feel like the cutter and the curveball are now in a really good tunnel. So that's helping a lot. Also, I like that he's switching up his fastball shapes even to the righties. That's a big level up for him. We haven't seen much of that yet. So nice job there. Gets Pete off the end here in the 6th. And here's Mayo. Mayo's going to get a hit on the fastball down. And then back to Basayo. They've got him to put sinker in twice. This one's a cutter. Ooh, almost got clipped. That was a good swing. Just hit it to the wrong part of the park. 94 at 27. Got him a little bit off the end. You can see Tolle thought that this ball was hit harder than it was. But Basayo, good swing. Just misses it. And then a walk here to Tyler O'Neill. Good try, but close. No cigar. And then he's going to have to get this last batter out. It's Jackson Holiday. He's going to get him out with a first pitch cutter. Got him off the end of the bat, and Rafaela is there. Check out Jackson bail big time with the front foot on this. He's not staying in there with the front hip on that cutter, and that's why he doesn't get barreled to it. So this is a little bit of the difficulty of hitting left on left. Trying to clear the hips out, thinking he's going to get rushed in with something, and then he goes ahead and swings at a cutter and catches it off the end of the bat. So I think if Jackson could have stayed a little more neutral here, he might have put a better swing on that, but he didn't. He definitely bailed. So another great outing from Tolle. He's been way more consistent than I predicted or would have thought. And, you know, how can you not be impressed? He's now 8 starts in with a 2.28 and a .97 whip, and he's coming up even better on the expected numbers. A big part of it is that extension. That's what makes that fastball so crazy. 7.4 extension from a low slot with good spin and good shape on the heater. It's like a lot of factors come together. We talk about Miz, how a lot of factors come together to make his fastball probably the best in the sport. Tolle doesn't throw as hard, but it's not that far behind him. It's a top 5 fastball in baseball, in my opinion, you know, when you put it all together. The low slot, you know, really just everything that he has going for him is special. It really is. And I love the fact that they've kind of figured out with him what they want to do in terms of, you know, like getting the right angle. They can move him around on the rubber like everybody does, but like the right angle where the cutter and the four-seam are going to play off each other. So here's that fastball. Keep in mind he has the extension, so the perceived velocity is up. From that low release height, his VAA is 91st percentile, so it's extremely flat when he throws to the top of the zone. And it's 21st percentile on HAA, which I think is a good thing on this metric because he's pretty left to right. So you see it's a double whammy coming in here. And then here's that cutter. Even more steep on the cutter, negative 3.7, also with good VAA. So he's got a lot going for him in terms of the combinations of, you know, the VAA, the extension, the spin, all that type of stuff. Not to mention he's hit 99.5 this year on that fastball. So you got to be impressed with Payton Tolle for sure. I wonder if he does anything with his release height. He climbs just a hair on the curveball, but other than that, incredibly consistent, right around 5.4 on release height. League average is 5.7, in case you guys were wondering. So it's only 23rd percentile in terms of release height. That's really helping him play up. 23rd percentile release height, 99th percentile extension, and then release side, 79th percentile, meaning he's very far over to the left. So everything's kind of coming together for Tolle and making him a little bit better than I thought. Because I thought he was so reliant on just beating you with fastballs all the time, but it looks like the cutter's become a better thing. Command's been pretty good, and he seems like he's improved a lot year over year. So good job by him and the Red Sox. What does Tolle need to develop to be even better? Changeup or cutter? I feel like he could almost be a better Christopher Sanchez. Hard to imagine better Christopher Sanchez. Christopher Sanchez is totally different too with the downhill plane. What could he do to be better? Well, I think he could still work on having a better breaking ball and then changeup. Those are the main things. Better breaking ball and a better changeup, especially feel for his changeup, would be massive. If you think about it, he speeds up every batter with his fastball so much that That's the key. The fastball sets the pace, so the quality of his pitches that play off of that fastball are going to determine how good he is. And I think that he's getting there, but he could still be better. He could still develop even better. His fastball is number 2 in Stuff Plus. So there you go. Mizorowski and probably Tolle. Those are probably the top 2, I would guess, in Stuff Plus. If I was, looking at just fastballs. Why don't you think Tolle doesn't work on his change and curve more? Just can't locate. Feels shapes look okay. I actually am high on the changeup shape. It feels like a kick change, but I think it's a feel thing. He's got a very low execution rate on those 2 pitches. Also, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So when in doubt, throw the heater for him or the cutter. But I think he'll get better as he goes, but he's already obviously pretty effective. The big thing is for me is, will he be able to sustain this level of pitching in this style for the full 6 months or the additional 4 months that are left? That's the big question for me. But for right now, he looks great. And you get him a red Ferrari 308 GTS, it would be ridiculous, you know? Be ridiculous.
Daddy,
Hey.
I need a pizza.
Thanks. You need a pizza? You want me to order you food?
No, not. No, I Play-Doh pizza.
A Play-Doh pizza?
Yeah.
Where do we get that from?
From Faulty Monty.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'll take you later, okay? Love you. These kids, they milk me for everything I got. You know what I mean? Everything I got. He needs a clay pizza, not just any pizza. He needs a clay pizza. All right, who if I had Tolle and Imanaga pitching on my team, I'd be excited to the park every day. Yeah. Yeah, Bailey's a good pitching coach, I'd say, overall. I'm looking through your chat real quick. Tolle already auditioning for his media career. He'd be great. He'd be great. How much is a slice of Play-Doh pizza nowadays? Carlos says $5. That's not great. All right, so we had Gavin Williams. Yeah, we can. You want to go look at my coffee cups right now? Where's that? These were the coffee cup winners from yesterday. If you guys didn't see them yet, this is the pitchers. So yes, Sanchez. We've already watched Webb, Ohtani, Max Meyer's on the list. Chase Burns, Geritt Cole, Gavin Williams. Almost too many. Skeens pitched yesterday, but he didn't have his best outing. I've been skipping over Stephen Kolek in a very disrespectful way for a while. You want to watch Max Meyer? We could watch Max Meyer next. I see 2 requests right here for Max Meyer. What's this here? Who do you think is Tolle's closest established player comp? I can't think of almost any right now. Honestly, him and Kyle Harrison aren't all that dissimilar, to be honest with you. It's not the exact same, but the fastball plays similarly. Even though he's not, I wouldn't say established either. I don't know. I got no comp for him yet. All right, Max Meyer. Chris Sale came into my mind, but it's a little different. At the same time, it's a little different. All right, let's look at Max Meyer and his dynamic duo breaking balls, as he's definitely headed to Philadelphia this year for the All-Stars at this point. I would 100% vote for him at this moment. 7 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 7 punchies versus the Nats, who have been the top offense for a bit now. So that's pretty impressive. Let's see just how many breaking balls he threw. 29 sweepers, 24 fastballs, 18 sliders. So still 52% breaking balls, 12 sinkers, and 9 changeups. All right, mixed in some changeups, faced a ton of lefties, which you would think would be a bad thing for him, but not really because of how hard he throws his breaking balls. 89-1 on the sweeper yesterday, 89-7 on the slider. He's really good. This guy really good, Max Meyer. He's gotten so much better. The second breaking ball was the level up for him. Changeup too, but the second breaking ball variation took him up notches. So here we go. Max Meyer going to start off the game with some punchies. First one is James Wood, 88-mile-an-hour sweeper, and he's a chase master. These pitches hold the line a really long time. Like that's about midway before you start seeing it move. And then it just gone. It's just gone. It's actually not even close to the zone. That's how nasty it is. So that's the first punchy of the game.
Loves that.
And then four seam.
Myers 2-2 in there.
Don't think of his sweeper as a traditional sweeper, I would say. He's got a little bit of a high slot, so it's got depth to it. I would look at his breaking balls as tighter and then bigger. So it's almost like smaller and bigger and nastier. So it's like he's got two variations that are similar speed but deviate differently. That's how I would look at his two breaking balls. Anyway, here's his second strikeout of the day. It's a fastball past Dylan Cruz at the, not even really at the top of the zone.
Just tons and tons and tons of spin.
All right, here comes the Australian Curtis Mead. And that's that gyro away. Pops it up to right. Yeah, you could even call it a power slurve, to be honest with you. You could. Sonny Gray throws a similar shape, I would say, of sweeper to Meyer, albeit with way less velo. At least the way it looks visually on the screen. There's a one-pitch fly out from CJ, so that's nice. It's always great when you get a great hitter to get out on the first pitch, the first at-bat of the game that you face them, because they haven't gotten any info on you, and it's almost like they're not as ready that second time as they would be if they saw 4 or 5 pitches. Anyway, sweeper down. Goodbye. See you later, Jacob Young. And then in-play outs to Lyle. Crocodile. 95.5 located in. That's another thing that he's done a great job of this year is locate in on lefties. If you're a righty, a breaking ball attack guy to lefties, you want to keep them honest or get them to chase more into these areas. Like if you really want to get swings down in here, it really helps if you can locate on the inner part of the strike zone. Anywhere with your fastball there in the yellow spot, now you sped them up a lot, and now they have a chance to go ahead and chase pitches. So he does a good job pounding lefties in with his fastball, and to me, I've noticed that a lot when we've watched him, and I think that's huge. All right, third inning, Keybert, base hit started off, little hanging breaking ball there. And then a walk, so he gets himself immediately in trouble here in the third. Hit and a walk, and now it's the 9-hole hitter. First pitch, in-play outs from Nasim Nunez. Fly out to right. Here comes Stowers, and Keybert's too slow, so he can't go to third. That's big because now it's back to the top of the order. And James Wood, who he pitches around a little bit, ends up walking him. So that gets him to bases loaded spot. Let's see what he does with the bases loaded spot. First up, Dylan Cruz. Sweeper ball. Sinker, in-play runs. Could have been a double play, but it's booted by Otto Lopez. So he almost had it out of there, but one run does come through there. Bases loaded continues. Goes 3-1 here on Curtis Mead before getting the double play ball now. So almost got it the previous at-bat, gets it now, and keeps it at 1 run. Third inning wasn't his best inning, but this is so massive as a baseball player is to keep potentially crooked number innings down to 1 run. I always said if I give up 1 run in an inning, I don't even really care, obviously unless it's the run to tie or lose the game, because it's just like, it happens. Just don't let three-run innings occur, and then you'll be all right. All right, CJ rolls over a slider to start off the 4th. Here's a hit to Jacob Young on a slider. So gets the speedster on with 1 out here. And now here's a changeup. Not a pitch he uses a ton of, but I think this is a good pitch for him too, and it's going to result in a double play. Otto Lopez, great scoop at first base. This is an interesting offering from Max. 5.8 vert, so it pairs pretty good with the 4-seam. It's way different than his usual game, so you know nobody's up there looking for it. And I think he can use it like this for contact ground balls. So that's big. Gets him through the 4th inning economically, and he's out for the 5th. Keibert Ruiz, first pitch fastball out. Beautiful. Tried to go to that inner lane like we talked about. Misses a little up, but he swings. Pops it up. He doesn't have the same drop, but he makes me think of Tim Hudson. I mean, they're similar size. But Tim Hudson was everything low pitcher. Sinker, split type of guy. But yeah, same size. Pop up there. I mean, another guy you could think of would be like a Roy Oswalt maybe, but a little bit of a different mix as well. Infield pop-up there, and then in-play outs here to Nasim Nunez. So a really good bounce-back fifth. Very economical fifth. On to the sixth, back to the top of the order, and this time he's going to strike out James Wood with a slider. So second strikeout of Wood, getting him to chase below the zone twice. Nasty. And now Dylan Cruz, sinker.
You almost have to think the other way.
Gets him to chop it. Beautiful sinker. Sinker in. Long throw over there. Great scoop at first. And now he's going to strike out Mead. So a very dominant sixth inning versus 1, 2, 3 in the order as third time through. That's when you know you've taken a leap, when you get better as the game goes on as a starter as opposed to more exposed. You just get better as you keep going. That's a sign of a true ace. All right, we are on to the seventh. Strikeout of CJ. Let's watch this whole at bat, actually. Slider pulled foul. Then sweeper. Swing and miss. And then sweeper again. So you see how he goes from short breaking ball to bigger breaking ball. Moves from hittable to less hittable as the at bat moves on. Can't do it any better than that. And he punches out an all-star right there. All right, next up, Jacob Young. Sweeper coming here. Ground ball to third for the second out of the seventh. And then his last batter, he's going to finish with a swing strikeout of Lyle. 90-mile-an-hour sweeper to end his day. And it's 1 run through 7 innings. Didn't even like the location of that pitch. But I just think it's the way that the sweeper and the slider can play off each other. Given that they're both in the upper 80s, they have late deviation. And it just makes it really hard. I remember looking back to like my 2013, 2014, when I was throwing a ton of sliders. But at that point, they weren't classifying them different, but I was throwing different pitches. I was throwing like a kind of a baby slurve, the sweeper, and then more of a curveball shape, all in one around similar velocities. And that can really work. That can really work. Like, guys see spin, they think the pitch is going to end up in one location, and it ends up in a different location. And that's a lot of what you're seeing Max Meyer do, albeit at a really high velocity. So it makes it really hard to make in the moment swing adjustments with your barrel. And oh, it's a great picture of you, Archie. You look cute.
Sophia.
And that's Sophia. Okay. And so I think that's kind of the trick. That, and then he's locating his fastballs really well, pitching in on both sides. Sinkers in on righties, four-seamers in on lefties, elevating when he needs to. So you're seeing it all kind of come together for this guy who was sort of just a one-trick pony with the one slider when he first got to the big leagues. As good as that slider was, it wasn't enough to carry him to the top of the league. Now that he has the variance in it, you see the level up. So it's fantastic. He's become really, really good. Crazy to think through the years, all the prospects that came out of pitching for the Marlins, he has catapulted himself above the rest. I don't know if I put him above Sandy yet. I mean, I know Sandy came over in a trade. Sandy won a Cy Young, but I mean, he's been great. He looks great. Slider is insane. I'm giving Meyer a top 25 shout this year. He's been so good, man. I mean, really, he's taken the next leap. Here's a question. Ayo, do you think Edwin Diaz's velo will come back when he returns? Yes, but I wouldn't expect it to come back right away. He has a way about him of being 93, 94, 95, sometimes early in innings and then going harder as time goes on, or when he first comes back being a little down and then finding it. So I wouldn't expect it or be too panicked the first couple games, but he does obviously need it. So he'll get there. But I don't know. I don't know what we're looking at with Edwin yet. We'll see how he responds. He hasn't been hurt a whole lot outside of the freak knee thing, so we'll see. But makes sense because he didn't look great, I didn't think, this season before getting hurt. You know what I mean? What is this app you are using called? It's called Dugout, and it's not publicly available. I feel like we answer that every day, but that just shows you how cool this app is. And if you're on TikTok and you want to come over, come get into the chat. And in order to do that, you got to come over to my YouTube channel and subscribe. Which would be great. And throw us a like while you're at it, because we're trying to break 100 likes today. I don't know where we're at, but I don't think we're anywhere close to that yet. I just invented that in the moment. I'd like to get 100 likes today. Can you explain why changeups are usually considered a pitch you throw to opposite-handed hitters and sinkers to same-handed hitters when a lot of pitchers, changeups, and sinkers have similar movement? Yeah, sure. I think same-handed hitters the thought process there was always you don't want to let them pull the ball in the air. So the slower pitch that you can make a mistake middle in on the changeup traditionally was thought you're doing them a favor. They're going to catch that ball out front and hit a home run. Now I think that's kind of fake because to me, if you throw the changeup really far in or down on a righty, number one, it's a pitch they're never looking for. Number two, they're usually going to pull it foul. So I think it's been debunked that it shouldn't be thrown to same-sided hitters. And then with the changeup to opposite-sided hitters, I mean, it makes sense because you're trying to figure out a way to get them into reaching mode. You don't want them to be super comfortable. Again, it's all about stopping slug. So a changeup to an opposite-handed hitter, in theory, gets them out front. Problem is, they see so many of them over their course of their career, they get pretty good at combating them. So all of this is sort of a dynamic that's shifting over time. And really, it has to do with how you set it up. It's not all about just throwing those pitches in a vacuum over and over again, expecting success. It's about you set them up. What's this picture, Arch? This is from you in school. This is beautiful. You look great there. Love you. I mean, I did, but I don't know if they're interested in that yet, Pops. So we'll see. Have I seen Rico Garcia's season before? Elite. Very few hits. Fantastic. Can you explain why Rocky's slider has gotten more whiffs as time has gone on, even though the spin is pretty meh? I think the shape's gotten a little better. I think the command's gotten a little better. There's a little more faith in the offenses facing him now that he's going to throw strikes. And I think before there was a lot of passive hitting, but I think now he's been throwing more strikes, so guys are more engaged. And when guys are more in swing mode, they're more likely to chase, therefore more whiff. I think that's pretty much it. If you threw pitches in a vacuum, they wouldn't have any movement. That's not what I mean. What I mean is like if you just spam changeups to same-sided hitters, you'd get nuked. But it's a little bit of the surprise factor. That's what works. And if you just spam changeups to lefties, like a righty throwing to a lefty, it would get nuked. But it's more about setting them up with that fastball in or laying the trap with the fastball down to get you to chase the changeup down. So it's all working together. Very few guys can just spam changeups like Canely, or to an opposite-handed hitter or whatever. So all this stuff has evolved. All right, a couple more guys to look at here as we approach the 12 o'clock hour. Geritt Cole, Gavin Williams, I think should be next. Probably. Here's a good question from someone here, Brady Fee 1375. What's this one, Bubba? This is cute. Did you make this?
Yeah.
Gorgeous. Fantastic. High five. Love you. Do you have any thoughts about Boston's struggles at Fenway? I can't put it together, and I didn't see IKF's comments yet, but they have such usually a big home field advantage. We used to call it the House of Pain. Like, it's a tough place to play as a visitor. Really tough to play. Usually the team is more oriented to the monster as well, especially offensively. Red Sox have always bludgeoned teams with awesome offenses when they've been good. So maybe that's a little bit of it. The weakness of their team is actually offense a little bit right now. It's not as much pitching. So maybe that has something to do with it, but it's a little bit of an enigma. I would agree with you there. All right, let's head over to the Yankees. This has been an all-pitching thing again. We didn't really watch much hitting today, but that's okay because some days there's just that many pitchers. So let's head over to another game from yesterday where both pitchers were interesting. This was probably our best pitching matchup of the day, Cleveland and the Yankees. Gavin Williams threw 5 1/3 with 3, and Geritt threw 5 1/3 with 4. So both guys did a good job. Both teams did a good job against these two very good pitchers. Here's the breakdown on both of them, and then what I'll do is I'm just going to go back and forth for the fifth. Maybe I'll go one guy at a time. Williams first, Cole second. Kind of see what happened, or Cole first, Williams second. We'll go Cole first, Williams second, because Williams was the winner. So Gavin threw 28 curveballs. Wait, so I said Cole first. We'll go Cole first. All right, Cole first, 39 heaters, 16 changeups, which is a huge usage jump so far this year from Geritt over previous years. So 16 changeups, 10 sinkers, also a big uptick. But I guess trying to find out, he threw a lot of them to lefties, interestingly. So we'll have to watch that. 10 curves, 8 sliders. Didn't have his best day. Only 8% whiff. Geritt got 0 whiffs on anything but fastballs. Very strange outing, considering how good he was with strikeouts against Kansas City and then nothing against the Guardians. He did throw a lot of strikes, which he always seems to do. But Got to give the Guardians credit. They came out and they beat Cole and Schlittler back-to-back nights. You got to give it credit. You got to give him credit. Got to give him credit. All right, here's Cole's outing. First batter was Bazana. Line drive to left on a 94-mile-an-hour heater. One out there, and then he's going to get an out here to Jose Ramirez on a changeup down. That's perfectly located there. So 2 good locations and 2 good contact outs in the first. And then an 0-2 knuckle curve to DeLauder to get through the first inning. Very clean. Very, very clean first inning. 3 contact outs there. Second inning, home run by Manzardo. So we got to watch the whole at bat and see how he got there. First pitch, knuckle curve, strike, even though that's way down. Now fastball here. Down again. This time not a strike and not challenged. So 1-1. Down, down, fastball, down and away. Command's been outstanding from Cole coming off the surgery, which is crazy. Now, a little harder fastball up, misses away. Now they're going to try to go in, I would think, but no, they stay away on Manzardo. Fastball again, and then the curve's going to be the home run. You got to give credit to Manzardo. Hit a ball for a home run with a really good swing. Curveball down in for Chase. Great swing by Manzardo. Geritt probably would have preferred to get this ball to the dirt in retrospect, but I don't think he's complaining too much about this location. This was a decent location, and great swing by Manzardo. 1-0, and you move forward from there. In-play outs come in here. Easy play there to Hoskins. Here comes an out on a changeup to Martinez. It's crazy how much changeup he's throwing all of a sudden. This is a question here about it. You think the over-the-head windup would make his arm late? No. I actually don't think so. And if you watch him, he's way slower now than he used to be. So I think he's giving himself plenty of time to get his arm up with the way that he's kind of coming through it. And he never had a problem getting his arm up. He's always had one of the most on-time hands, especially since he got rid of his long arm action that he had when he first came up and what he had through UCLA days. I think he'll be on time, but I think a lot of what the slow movement for him has been about is just staying on his backside as long as possible. So there's a contact out from Quan, and he's through 2 with the 1 run being the solo shot. Here's Patrick Bailey, going to get him out with a high changeup.
I've said this for a lot of years. You've heard it.
He's got a weird changeup. I was looking at it by VAA. Garrett's changeup has the least amount of downhill action in the league. It's the most floaty, flat changeup in the league. So I don't know if that's good or bad. I mean, it's on one side of the spectrum, but typically you'd want to be on the other side, so I don't know. But he's using it a lot. Ground ball there. Here's an in-play outs to Rocchio for the last batter of the first time through the lineup. Little slider down. Again, not getting any whiff on anything but fastball's weird. That's going to bother him. He's going to look at that and try to diagnose that after the game, I'm sure. And then another in-play out here to Travis Bazana. This is the right-on-left sinker, something that we almost never see him do, but he did a little bit of that in this game, which makes me curious about the why. Let's see what the at-bat was versus Bazana. Curveball strike. Change-up, ball. Change-up, ball again. No idea why he went to the sinker here. Zero idea. But he did, and he almost got clicked. He's kind of lucky he didn't get clicked here, in my opinion. I think this was a poor pitch choice. But he gets an out. 5th inning, and I think this is where they get him a little bit. Jose Ramirez going to lead off the 4th with a changeup. That's a homer. Oh, no, that's off the wall. He homers later. So I was going to say, felt like he got that off the end. 98-8. But his changeups, again, because of the VAA on it, it's not designed to get grounders like a lot of people's changeups are. But he does get them out front and off the end and almost gets clipped, but it's going to be a leadoff single because Ramirez threw on the brakes. So leadoff single, strikeout here looking to DeLauder. A little bit of an uptick in velo, and that's just a perfect dot. The down and away four-seam. I talked about how me and Geritt have talked about this before. This is a great pitch that exists in baseball right now, underutilized. Look at that. That's a frozen pizza all day long. So 1 out there, and then he gets another out here from Manzardo on changeup. Perfect location on that as well. So overall, I think he's thrown the ball well so far. 2 outs. And then here comes the home run to Rhys Hoskins. This is very unexpected, so let's see how bad this pitch quality is. Slider down ball, and then he doubles up and he throws it right down the middle. Yeah, middle down, and Hoskins gets him. Little bit of a mistake there, probably going double up on the slider. Especially his slider is more of a gyro, so it's not going to get you off the barrel very often. Good job by Rhys Hoskins to hammer the mistake. And if I were a betting man, I'd say he's going to want this pitch back the most of any pitch that we've watched so far. The old cement mixer. So, got him right there. And then another hit here by Angel Martinez on a changeup, rolled down the line that somehow Rice doesn't get to. Wow. He's going for 2. He's going to make it. So 2-out double there. Then he gets himself out of the 4th inning, getting Kwan out with 98. Middle down away, fly out to left. So it's been the 2 home runs so far, and I don't think the pitch to Manzardo was bad, but obviously not a great pitch there to Hoskins. All right, here's the last inning. Starts it off with a strikeout of Patrick Bailey, up and away. That's one of the rare swing and misses he got last night. Now we are back to Rocchio. So he does get 2 quick outs in this inning. That's a sinker down and away, which I don't mind for 0-0. Oh, it was the 6th inning where he gets in trouble. He had a really clean 5th inning. Fastball up to Bazzana. So it's going to be 3 home runs. Not all that dissimilar from how he usually gives up his runs. It's just home runs. So here's Jose Ramirez is going to get him here. Let's watch this whole at-bat. First pitch, sinker away. So I like that because it holds back. If you know the guy's going to take, and believe it or not, Jose Ramirez has a pretty low first pitch swing rate, so it's fine to throw a pitch that he would normally hammer 0-0 and expect to take, and that's what he does there for sinker strike 1. Now he's going to go to the 4-seam, same location, gets the foul ball, so he's going down and away twice. Going to try to throw a slider, but it's got to go right down the middle down, which it does, and that's a good take by Jose Ramirez. So to me, he's locked in on the bottom half of the zone, and this would be a good time to maybe either try to elevate or you try to double up on that slider and say, I don't think you can lay off it twice. Instead, they're going to try sinker away, which I don't get. He's ripe for something up in. Here's the 4-seam. They're going for the up in target. It's just he's a better hitter than... I actually think that's a good pitch choice, but Jose Ramirez is a Hall of Famer. He didn't get it high enough, but Jose Ramirez is a Hall of Famer. That's the bottom line on that, and I think that's what Geritt's thinking to himself. This guy wants to pull everything. I worked him away for a reason. Yes, inside should have, in theory, been open, because that's what I think. I think ins should have been open. I even called it before the pitch, and I would have been wrong. I would have given up this home run too. What an incredible swing by Jose Ramirez. You're getting worked away, 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 and then you're on time for 98, belly button in for a home run. Hall of Famer. Jose Ramirez, you're a Hall of Famer. You're incredible. The fact that you were able to react to this is 1 of 1. Very impressive. I still can't get over this swing. This was great. Jose Bonds. I mean, Geritt worked him dotted away sinker, dotted away 4-seamer, something off the plate away, something below the zone, sinker off the plate away, then 4-seam in, and he clicked him. Just a great swing by Jose Ramirez. So he does get to face 3 more batters. Gets an out here out of DeLauder. J-Ram is going to be the second 400 club member joining Barry. That's amazing. Gets an out there. Then Manzardo's going to get his 2nd hit of the game off of G. This is a sinker. Stays on it. Really nice. That's why you don't want to throw sinkers to lefties more than the homers. It's their ability to hit that, to scoop that ball down and away into left center for doubles. I used to give up a lot of hits like that before I changed my approach. And then he's going to go ahead and walk Hoskins. Uncharacteristic walk from G, and then he's out of the game. So it's the 3 home runs. I think 2 of the pitches I actually agree with, the Manzardo and the Jose Ramirez. The Hoskins one, I bet he would want back more than anything. But that was Geritt's game. Pretty solid. But the 3 home runs ended up beating him. So credit to the Guardians. And then on the other side of things, Gavin Williams, 28 curveballs, 27 sweepers. He's got the dynamic 2 breaking ball approach. Hey, Bubba. Another one? Oh, this is great. What color are you doing here? Red?
Yeah.
Awesome.
No, with my friends.
Your friends are there too?
Yeah.
Okay. Love you. All right, this is my last guy. Gavin Williams, 28 curveballs, 27 sweepers. Those are his pitches. 19 sinkers, 14 cutters, and only 8 four-seamers. That's amazing. 33% whiff, so he got some whiff in this game, which you're going to get against the Yankees. 67% first pitch strike. So let's watch Gavin Williams pitch, and then we'll do probables. No prospects today. All right. First batter of the game is actually a walk to Trent Grisham. So Gavin pitched backwards for the whole game. Yeah, he must have. I mean, these pitches are filthy, these curveballs. There's a backdoor curveball, strike 3 to Ben Rice, who just stares and heads back to the dugout, and that's going to bring up Goldie. They do misjudge in the lineup, obviously, no doubt, so he can't be really hurt, or that would be a problem. But they should still be able to score a little better than they did the last 2 nights. So this is a pretty center-cut cutter that I think Goldie takes an emergency hack and strikes out. So a walk and 2 strikeouts, and then he's going to get belly out with a 4-seam. He only threw 8 4-seamers the whole game, which is wild. That was really well located up and away. Gavin Williams is probably the pitcher I would compare the most to Geritt Cole, too, which is interesting that they faced off against each other. All right, second inning, and Jazz clips him for the home run here on the 3-2 sinker. That ball was touched, and a hell of a pimp job, too. Way back into the second deck. Okay, Jazz. Getting on that Fallon show and then going kaboom right there. That was super suave. So he tied the game up there with this swing. This was nice. Really bad pitch, though. Sinker up in the zone to a lefty. No bueno there. Ooh, Archer. Is this your name tag? Archer Ottavino. Beautiful.
Dad, I have name T and L.
Mm-hmm. All right, here's Caballero. Gonna get him. He's gonna get a hit on a sinker here. So Yankees had him a little bit early. It's not like he had a great outing. Gave up 3 runs, but he outpitched Geritt by 1 run. Sinker hit there, and curveball here. Back to Ryan McMahon. Ooh, nice job. Run right at the runner. Caballero's trying to tell him to get to second base, which he does. This was interesting. This is a little rundown action here. Ball back to the pitcher. Williams does a great job running right at the runner. You have to make him make a decision. Forces him back to the early base. But Caballero stays in it long enough for McMahon to hustle and get to second. So a lot of good fundamental baseball all around here on this play. Great job by Williams. You make the runner freeze, and then you try to circle him a little bit. You see how he kind of looped around to then create that angle to drive him back to second. But they weren't able to make the tag right away, and that gave enough time for McMahon to make it into second. So a lot of good stuff all around there. And then he's going to get a punch out of Wells on a fastball. So didn't throw a lot of 4-seamers, but when he did, they seemed to be pretty effective. That's a beautiful one right above the zone at 98.5. Doors. Thanks for watching. Everybody on TikTok, if you want to come over, come get in the chat on YouTube. Got to subscribe on my YouTube channel. Sweeper away to Volpe, who I don't know what happened here. Did he think this was foul? What happened here? He stops running. Oh, he touched it. He touched it, so he knows he would have been out. That's what happened there. That was a weird play. All right, on to the next inning, third inning. Back to the top of the order. First pitch out on that devastating curveball to Grisham. I love his curveball. That's one of my favorite curveballs in the game. It'll pop up. DeLauder is there, 1 out there, and then a called strike 3. So 2 called strike 3s on backdoor curveballs to Ben Rice. Punched him out looking twice. Not easy to do. And then another called strike 3 on the backdoor sinker here to Goldschmidt. Perfect pitch. That was my pitch right there. Great pitch. And Goldie will give it to you. Talked a lot recently about how actually striking out looking as a hitter can be a good quality. Goldie does that quite a bit. So that's it for the third. On to the fourth. Curveball here to Belly. Great swing, but hit it to the wrong part of the park, and Kwan's going to go run that down. Great swing on that curveball. 104, but he must have top spun it a little bit because it didn't really fly. Release the spin data, MLB. Release it. Yeah, because it looks like he hit that ball really good. He must have top spun it. Didn't really carry the same. All right, next up, Jazz Chisholm going to get him out with a curveball. Ooh, what are you drawing here? With a purple crayon? Nice, buddy. Another out on a curveball. His curveball's so good. And then here is the home run by Caballero on a first pitch sinker. So that's another one that you kind of just let go if you're the pitcher. First pitch, ambush, 2 outs, nobody on. 2-run lead. Good swing by Caballero, though. Sneaks one out to left, so that's a home run there. He bounces right back with the strikeout of McMahon. Ooh, super rise sweeper. 7.2 vertical break on that sweeper. Look at this ball just go straight up. That's a weird pitch. Very happy accident. Weird pitch. All right, on to the 5th inning. Austin Wells going to get him out with a curveball. You see how dynamic the 2 breaking balls have been. I'm just getting outs all day long here. Curveball out there. Curveball out here to Volpe. He rolls that over to Rocchio. And in-play outs on a cutter here to Grisham. So now we're at 3rd time through. Gets that cutter up, pops him up. Williams is really good. He's got really good stuff. 6th inning. This time Ben Rice says, I'm not waiting around to get struck out. I'm putting a ball in play, and he pulls the hands in really nice on that cutter. He's going to get himself a leadoff double here. This is a great swing. That's a great location. Look at him stay through that. Leadoff double there. All right, curveball here. Goldie stays on it, slash out to right. Nice play by Quan. What are you doing here? You're drawing with a blue pencil?
Yeah.
I love it. I love your shirt there you have too with the trucks. Beautiful, buddy. This is a great play by Quan here. The way he tracked this ball right off the bat. Very nice. Bye. Love you. Does move over to 3rd, but Quan's the man out there. I just want him to start hitting again. All right, and that's it. They pull him after that, and that run gets cashed in, so that makes it the 3 earned runs. So yeah, I mean, you see kind of how both guys went about it a little differently. Very average-looking starts for both of those guys. All right, we got something here on the... Is backspinning ball as a hitter a learnable skill or just happenstance? I think it's a product of your swing a little bit. To create backspin, think about it in tennis, right? In tennis, you want to create topspin, right? So you swing up on something low, and then you're rolling over the top to create that type of action, topspin. So you see that a lot with scoopy hitters. They come in too low, and then their attack angles here, and they spin the ball this way. And then vice versa, guys coming over the top, they top spin the ball this way at times. But if you're coming from the top and you clip the bottom, now you're creating backspin. Or if you come from underneath, but you clip the bottom, you can maybe get a little backspin as well. But so it's all about where you're hitting the ball, but I do think a little more backspin comes from that downward approach, clipping the bottom of the ball. So it has to do with your with the way that the ball spins, with the way your bat comes through and where your point of contact on the ball is. But you can see how if you're under the ball, which the whole idea of that is to match the plane and hit it in the air. But if you're under it and you hit the front of the ball, you're going to top spin it, and which I think what happened there with Belly. He hit the top of that ball, back spun it, didn't carry as far. Quan was there, made the play. All right, a couple more things really quick in the chat, then we'll do Probables, and that's it for today. Good stream today, great crowd today. Appreciate everybody on YouTube, TikTok, people who came over, the whole thing. That's as perfectly executed rundown as you can, minus the runner getting to second. I felt like he could have drove him a little further back to the bag, but he did the right thing. He froze the runner. He circled the runner. Williams did a great job on that. Goldie has an 8-game hitting streak. He doubled off Kate Smith. He's been great. I love Goldie in there. They definitely need Judge in there to be great. What do we got here? Ooh, another one. Some red pieces of paper on this. This is great, Archie. And then one last one. Ooh, you made a person. I love that. You're so creative. That's that man. That's a man?
That's that man.
You're so creative, my love. All right. I imagine the batters who replay ABs in their brains post-game on those pitches that look like meatballs till the last second, replaying that late break run rise over and over. They do. They totally do. They do, and they can see it all happening in their heads. All right, we got to do probables because I got to be on a thing in 15 minutes, and I want to put up the timestamps before that. So let's hit probable pitchers for today, Thursday, June 4th. Ooh, fun matchup here. Start it off. All right. Let me finish up, and I'll come right out, okay? This is my last thing. I'm going to take you Funky Monkey in a little while, okay? When we get a chance, I'll take you. All right, here we go. Probables. Lucas Giolito at the Phillies, and Zach Wheeler. Wheeler's looked great. He got 4 home runs hit off him by the Dodgers last time, but this should be an interesting matchup. Gio coming off a clunker. Red Sox, Orioles, Trevor Rogers, who's been pretty rough this year so far, going against Brian Bayo, who's been a lot better when he's coming in after an opener, but it looks like they're giving him the regular start. Let's see how that one goes. Cleveland and the Yankees. The Yankees kind of need this one. They're facing Slade Ciccone, and they got Carlos Rodon on the mound. Giants, Brewers, Adrian Hauser, Coleman Crow. Blue Jays, Braves, TBA for the Jays, Chris Sale for the Braves. So the Blue Jays, not looking great for them, but we'll see. It's baseball, you never know. Royals, Twins, Lugo, Morris.
I have to go. So,
I'm about to get off right now.
okay, because Archer's here.
Okay. Lugo, Morris. JT Ginn, Shota Imanaga, A's, Cubs. That's a good matchup. Pirates, Astros, Jared Jones is back on the bump. Excited for that. Kaiwei Tang, Robleski, and Nelson rounds it out. So not as many games today. Tomorrow's stream will be a night stream. Tomorrow's stream will be Baseball After Dark, 9 p.m. on my channel and on TikTok as well. So come check me there tomorrow night. Thank you so much for hanging with me today. You guys are awesome. Appreciate you guys so much. Don't forget to hit that like button when you're on the way out. And I'll see you guys tomorrow night on Baseball After Dark. And that's it. Have a great Thursday, everybody. Thanks for hanging with me today. Adios.